All right, hello everyone. My name is Salvatore Sabraca, and this is a little dicey D&D. Welcome to the second episode of our Petrichor campaign entitled Flowers. I am your dungeon master. We're going to have a whole bunch of very interesting.
That's on.
That's on. Okay, well, no, it's good. It's good. Now that we know that the sound works. All right. Yeah, no worries. We will not be having someone behind the screen running chat. Luke and Zach are both, unfortunately, predisposed this evening, so it's just going to be us. We're going to be kind of blind to what's going on, so but be sure to, talk to one another and, don't be afraid to say hi and everything like that. We'll be checking in at break, which will probably happen in 2-ish hours or so. Every Wednesday nights, we're going to be here 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to about 10, maybe a little longer than 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you didn't catch our first episode last week, please give that a look. It's still up on our Twitch channel right now in the form of a video on demand. You can catch up with some of the characters and whatnot. We're going to do additional introductions here today, probably for the next couple of times that we play, just for anybody in addition that joins in to watch or anything like that. But yeah, I'm not going to stall too much. We don't really have anything much more to talk about than just to play the game, which is pretty wonderful. So like I said, my name is Salvatore Sabraca. I am the Dungeon Master here at A Little Dicey D&D. This is our Petrichor campaign. It is a homebrew, sort of episodic, recurring campaign, so we're not doing any one-shots, or eventually we will, but right now it's session to session, and this is our second live presented form of this. We've been playing for about a year now, all throughout the pandemic, all entirely on Zoom, but now that pretty much all of us are vaccinated, we can come together and drink and be merry, and it'll be all well and good. Eventually we're going to have Sir Jamie here with us as well, and then Alex will be zooming in on from up north for a little while too, which will be totally fine. It'll be a beautiful day when all 6 of us, including myself, right? Yeah, when all 6 of us can get together.
I hope you're here.
I know. I'm actually not here. Yeah. But without further ado, let's jump into it. Before I begin the sort of like little intro monologue to get us in the mood, like I said, I want to sort of do reintroductions with our characters again. So whatever you'd like to say about yourselves, please do. We're going to start with Matt again, and this time also I want to include a description of what you look like. Head to toe, as much detail as you'd like, as little detail as you'd like, but something to give us a really good idea, a good grasp of how we are presenting ourselves. And then also be sure to include our pronouns. So Matt, if you'd like to take it away.
Yes, I'm Matt Kassan. I'm playing Misha. Misha is sort of has very curly mop of hair on top, sort of falls into his face, just above his eye line, maybe a little bit into his field of vision. Has sort of streaks of gray all throughout. Very sort of maybe not quite gaunt, but looks a bit underfed. A medium length beard, green eyes, and wears sort of a somebody laughing at green eyes.
Green eyes, that's fucking hilarious.
Jenna just looked at me with such a face.
It's nice.
She loves
If you have green eyes, get in the chat. Sort of a mantle or cape upon his shoulders, and a chainmail shirt that is almost standard issue from where he comes from. So Misha is a prodigious wizard student from Hyreth Academy. Went there for a little while, learned in and out of class, maybe got a little bit bored with typical studies, and so became sort of independent study under Inquisitor Seville, who is one of the department heads at Hyreth Academy. Is minor note is first-time traveler. You might not think it's impressive, but frankly, it really is. Now is sent by Seville to try to protect the rest of these people from great conspiracy and so far, maybe not doing such a good job. Despite him always trying to stay aware and alert, this one maybe he was not so prepared for. So from now on, stay vigilant.
Yes.
Okay, that is it.
Thank you very much, Matt. Appreciate it. Jenna?
Yes, hi. I'm Jenna, and my character's name is Taj. Taj is, gender doesn't exist for Taj, so Taj uses they, them pronouns, and that they're also an Aasimar, so I get the pretty, pretty angel wings. On top of that, I want you to picture Keira Knightley in Pirates of the Caribbean when you picture Taj, but just like slightly shorter, like more goldeny hair to reflect my celestial heritage. And Taj's whole deal is that they were a royal, a young royal from the Kingdom of Dawn. Everything was going really great until they met a girl and fell in love and, got kicked out of the kingdom because a series of circumstances. People thought that the girl was like a bad influence, whatever. And so Taj gets kicked out of the royal family and becomes an adventurer and goes on the road and tries to become exactly as cool and roguey as their girlfriend was. And has been looking for her ever since, because they sort of lost track of each other. And we just ran into her, and oh my god. Things have fallen apart rather quickly. So, hoping that goes well, first time rescuing a damsel in distress, we'll see how it goes. And that's Taj.
Thank you, Jenna.
Thank you.
I'm Garrett. I use he, him pronouns, and so does Roscoe. Roscoe is, he's got blonde hair. It's probably a little bit shorter than mine. Very boyish in the face. He's young. He's practically a kid. He wears like a peasant's shirt with. Absolutely.
Especially because he's practically a kid.
He's so young. He's just stars in his eyes.
The embodiment of innocence, really.
And he wears like a regular peasant's shirt with the sleeves cut off, and he wears I always refer to them as jorts. They're probably like burlap trousers cut off at the knee, but the boy wears jorts.
Medieval jorts.
Also, right now, currently covered in blood, probably.
He's
not in a good place. So I don't actually feel like I should speak in character right now because we do not know Roscoe's fate. I will say that he's a young man from Amel who started adventuring to pay for his sister to go through school and to hopefully find his mom who disappeared when he was younger.
Beautiful. Thank you, Garrett. Jamie.
I'm Jamie. I'm playing Donnie. Both of us use he and pronouns. Donnie is a gnome artificer. Kind of rough looking, has like a really big bushy beard, arms covered in tattoos, wears half plate, kind of covered in like arcane runes. Donnie is part of a foundation, sort of criminal organization. He's part of it to really sort of like take down the system. He's sort of redneck Antifa. Sort of like if Hank Hill had like the opposite political beliefs.
Redneck Antifa.
He's here to rescue Ophelia, who's also in foundation, and the two of them are quite close. That's Donnie.
Wonderful, Jamie. Thank you. And last but not least, Alex.
All right, hello everybody. My name's Alex Kissel. I use he, him, his pronouns, and so does my character, Luxian Elephant. Luxian is compared to everybody else, he's fairly tall, but for a half elf race, so it's fairly light.
The cat.
This is my cat Dax.
Yeah, Daxter.
And who does Dax play?
What's his character?
But so Luxian, up until
He's just playing Nemesito.
He's the
Yeah,
big bad.
Dax is Nemesio for sure.
That's worse. That's worse than that answer.
Lux wears darker, more elegant robes, embodying his more lavish upbringing. But he used to have a very luscious head of hair, bleached white, long, thick braid, but for the sake of espionage and his identity, he has since shaved his head bald and now wears more common clothes, which he's not unused to seeing he is also a war veteran. Yeah, Luxian. Oh yes, I'm a character. My name is Luxian Eloquent, and I am the descendant of High Lord and ladies who served Tiro Gold in Scyther. I'm a war veteran and served as a modest cleric during the Eternity War? No.
Centuries War.
Centuries War, there we go.
It felt like eternity.
Centuries was a long
All of a
time.
sudden, we're in the Marvel comic universe, actually.
That's,
Um,
That's infinity.
They're synonymous.
But after the war, I continued my pursuit of knowledge in human arts applied to the Hyrule Academy. It was sadly rejected, and in my quest following that, I came across a second teacher of sort who pushed me in the right direction to now have found my new family, per se.
That's us.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Alex. Before we officially start, I'm just gonna like turn this fill light a
You gotta
little bit.
fix your lighting.
Yeah.
There you go.
Here, did you comment calling you now Sal's dead, Roscoe's fine?
Yeah, I'm dead for sure.
What, dude?
Should be better.
What the fuck?
Watch
Okay.
out.
So, do you guys have any questions before we begin?
I'm just mad I got called out.
All set? Alrighty. So, tell me if that's too loud.
Turn it down a little. Pretty.
When last we met, you all had just arrived in the city of Widowsport, the northernmost settlement in the land of Scyther, the Whispering Wood.
Peace out.
Yes, Alex.
Camera's off.
My camera's off. now.
Oh.
Oh, how'd that happen?
Interesting.
Huh.
It probably just fell asleep like it did before.
Wonder why that's the case.
Please hold. For dramatic pause.
technical difficulties.
I mean,
We're
that
still new.
it seems like it lasted like half an hour.
Yeah, I don't know why that happened.
It's plugged in, right?
It is.
Kissel. I'm watching you.
I think that.
Alex, if you call me out again, Roscoe's gonna haunt your ass. I need you to know that.
Well, too bad Roscoe's not a fucking dog.
Then he's just gonna kill you.
You should have just left me, dog. Ooh, stock photos.
Okay. Alright, that should be fine.
Hey, you back?
I think I need to change.
I'm behind
The only
him.
problem is that I
There he is.
think the setting is on like
Like sleep time?
yeah,
Oh.
probably. Alright, that'll be like a 30-second fix. I'm just gonna swap to we'll be right back, and it'll be 2 seconds.
We'll be
Okay.
back.
Bye.
There we go. Yeah, I'm coming back. All right, we're live. All right, everything should be fine.
It's probably fine.
Yeah.
It's like semi-fine.
Yeah, it's all right.
Are you
Not
looking
the
up
worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I was seeing if there was a
Just
way to
fill
get
all that
around
water.
it.
I just filled my water back here.
Hell yeah.
Good thing there's nothing behind this, so
Oh,
it's
thank the
totally fine. Who
Lord.
cares? So funny.
This is a professional stream.
Yeah, we're really good at what we do.
Okay.
Devices away, students.
Yeah, everything should be good. Alex, start talking.
Why do you need
Okay, cool. You're loud and everything. All right, sick. Okay, so you might see on my screen just like a flash on and off every once in a while. Just ignore that. Should be totally fine. But yeah, let's get back into it. Okay, so I will start from the top. When last we met, you all had just arrived in the city of Widowsport, the northernmost settlement in the land of Scyther, the Whispering Wood. Just before penetrating the walls of the city, stopping for a few brief moments to express some feelings about a few past choices that left some fallen in the wake of your escape from Emershaw. Fleeing from the young master Ambrose who pursues you is no small task when he has the might of the Hyrith Inquisitors at his side. All the while, a new threat has begun to rise up in the east as King Paulos Epimeth has committed acts of war against Tiranoc and the land of Umbra. Nevertheless, it is the will of the kind soul, Roscoe Thorngage, that you all take heed and exercise restraint in those dire moments where you can. Sometime later, you all arrive during the night at Widowsport, smelling the salt in the air and feeling the ocean's influence across the city streets. You knew your goal, the Wormar family vineyards. That is where your lost lover and friend Ophelia Markton is being held captive by the will of the Wormar family for some unknown intent. Wasting no time, Taj, Roscoe, and Donnie bounded forth through the city and out of the southwesternmost gate towards the vineyard, while the rest of the party followed suit with the commandeered Hyrith carriage bringing up the rear. Upon arrival, the wine-colored exterior of the mansion that sits within the acres of land that makes up the Wormar vineyard sat idle, without a watchman in sight. Taj took this opportunity to deftly make their way inside the abode through the chimney and infiltrated the place of living. Roscoe, close behind, and Donnie, invisible in the night, trying to keep up. Upon entering, Taj had heard a short, sharp, high-pitched scream that followed a sickening thud of blunt flesh on flesh coming from deeper within the halls of the mansion. Taj strode through the halls following the screams and finally caught sight of the lost, captured lover, Ophelia. Bound by iron shackles against a cold stone wall, beaten and bruised by a raven-haired captor, donning a pitch-black cloak and heavy plate mail. The captor attempted to glean information out of Ophelia about the plans of the Lord of Coin, Holder, Sovereign of Amil, and what they have to do with the underlying motives that seem to be kicking off a great new conflict among the Tenlins. After hearing the torturous voice of the gentleman captor, Taj loosed an arrow that pierced right through the man's neck, causing him to fall over in front of the chained Ophelia. Just as you had begun to move to release Ophelia, the man rose up and accepted your challenge against him, just as Roscoe had arrived at your side. The mysterious Nemesio proved to be too much to handle without the aid of the rest of your allies and struck both of you down to the point of no return. After Taj had attempted to blind Nemesio by unleashing the contents of the ever-smoking bottle, the raven-haired captor made his move. Blinded by the enveloping smoke, you could only hear the sounds of steel against flesh, flesh against stone, and finally, the scraping of the very same steel against the ground as a hand reached beyond you, took hold of something, and seemingly vanished from the dungeon. The smoke still heavily obscures your vision. Your companions just now beginning to breach the exterior of the mansion. And silence permeates the room around you. Taj, you see nothing but dark, dull grayness around you. It's getting a little difficult to breathe, especially as your pulse races and your heart pounds in your chest, sweat furling on your brow. What do you do?
I want to close the bottle.
Close the bottle. As you finally recork the ever-smoking bottle, no more smoke begins to, pour forth, but this is a still room. The smoke still remains floating around you, though nothing more is being loosed.
Roscoe? Where are you?
Make a perception check.
5.
5. You inquire into the silence. You try to look around, feel around, and your hand catches cold stone on the wall. This is the wall in front of you where Ophelia once was. And you slip forward to the side and your fingers brush past another cold bit of metal. And a bit of metal sort of jingles in response to your questions. These are the shackles that Ophelia was once bound by. But there is no response from your companion.
Ophelia? Roscoe! Help! Donnie! Misha!
I'm just outside, right?
You are just outside. Donnie, you hear the frantic calls from your companion Taj in what you assume to be a room just beyond you, still rubbing your head and trying to glean your surroundings after running straight into a stone wall in the thick of heavy smoke, which still permeates the hall around you. It doesn't seem like it's billowing forth from the room any longer, but your vision is still clouded.
I'm here. I can't see shit. What's going on?
I don't know. I can't see either. I can't find anybody.
Luxian and Misha. At this point, you've infiltrated the mansion. The last thing you heard was a muffled, sort of high-pitched scream. Some sort of call, but you couldn't ascertain necessarily what was being said. It seemed to have come from below you.
We would have heard her voice in our head just now, right?
I don't believe she was speaking
Okay.
in
I was with
excuse me, I
Donnie.
don't believe they were speaking out loud, so, or, in
Okay.
using those. So I was assuming that Taj was just sort of frantically.
Yelling. Okay.
Yes. However, the
Got it.
last thing you heard was a high-pitched sort of scream.
But before we got there, Taj did say to the whole group, down a spiral staircase in the basement.
Yes, you do know whereabouts to go. And at this point, you are rushing through the hallway. I would like both of you to make perception checks.
What's to perceive?
They gotta find the room.
No, not you, Donnie. Just Lux and Misha.
18.
Also 18.
18.
Convenient.
As you're rushing through the hallway, you take a moment to just sort of look about you, just sort of marking the hallways and the doors and everything, just for a quick glance, and you swear you hear shuffling in another room, perhaps to your right. Do you continue forward? You can see now, just at the end of the hallway, a sort of doorway it's not really a doorway, but an archway opens into another room that you can just barely see a set of stairs that begin to spiral downward, and just as it curves into the darkness in the sort of end of your point of view. Do you continue forward?
I'm going to continue forward, and I have expeditious retreat going, so
You
I
do.
should do 90 feet in 6 seconds.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I say to Lux, I say, You continue. Go ahead. And then in my mind, I say to Taj and to Roscoe, and Donnie, I suppose, all three. I say, there's someone else here. Are you okay?
Yes, but somebody, he disappeared.
Lux is coming now. He should be there any minute.
Is the smoke still in the room?
The smoke is still in the room.
Can I take out Tempest Fang and can I use the wind powers to disperse it?
You certainly can.
Okay, I'd like to.
That's cool.
Yeah, this.
You reach on the side of your hip and you unsheath this gleaming, pristine, nearly platinum blade. And you close your eyes and you will it to erupt in a gust of wind, razor sharp as it speeds around you like a projectile, a flying arrow just buzzing and whirring around your ears, and it disperses the smoke around you. Donnie, you see a gust of smoke pour out of the room around you and fill the hallway. It blows past you, and you can see just at the edge of the doorway in front of you a whirring, buzzing, razor-sharp wind spinning around. You can see at this point Taj standing in the middle, sort of holding a very thin, beautiful blade in front of them. And at this point, Luxian, you are sort of rounding at the end of the spiral staircase, and you step on to the cold stone floor, and you see a gust of smoke sort of blow past you. In front of you is clouded vision. It's not necessarily entirely dissipated out of this hallway, but it is out of the room. Do you begin to continue to move forward through the smoke, Luxian?
Yes.
As you do, you rush forward until eventually your vision finally does not, or is no longer interrupted by this sort of choking smoke that you burst out of, and you can see Donnie standing sort of pensive at the forefront of a doorway. Donnie and Taj, as the smoke has cleared around you and this whirring whirlwind rips around, Tempest Fang in your grip sort of vibrates for a moment, and a small glow encompasses it, and the winds around you cease, almost automatically. Does not last the full minute. It sort of just stops, and it continues to glow. The vibration has ceased, but there's just a faint bit of a myriad of colors that just sort of pulsate around the pristine blade. And in this dark room, the hues of red, blue, yellow, all of the colors of the rainbow just sort of flicker and provide a very dim light, where in front of you, you and Donnie now see the still unmoving body of Roscoe Thorngage, slumped onto the ground, a pool of blood around him, eyes open, mouth agape, tousled blonde hair stained with crimson at the edge, where the blood is poured and pooled up behind the head from the chest. 2 great wounds on his back, motionless.
Roscoe! I want to run over to him.
You do?
Where is he bleeding from?
He's bleeding from his torso, heavily.
So I think Lux would see this too.
Lux is too far back in the hallway right now. However, you do hear Taj shout Roscoe's name. You move up forward to round the corner, and you see Donnie standing there watching this scene, and you too see the still unmoving body of Roscoe Thorngage.
Help.
I'm also running to Roscoe.
All right.
And I think the way I cast it is like a little arm kind of pops out of my crossbow with like a syringe of magic of like healing potions.
Sure.
So I'm gonna cast that.
As you kneel down, the syringe pops out and you adhere it onto Roscoe's left arm. And as you pump this sort of healing tonic into Roscoe, you wait a moment. Nothing happens.
No, that's not right.
Luxian is going to run up and literally shove both of them to the side without saying a word, and like kneel down next to Roscoe. I'm going to reach into my bag of holding and take out Vistani's necklace that has 3 diamonds in it,
Mm-hmm.
so that I can cast Revivify.
You fucking knew.
Never a good sign.
Checking his notes.
Oh no!
You drape Vistani's necklace over the back of Roscoe's sort of upper torso where his neck connects to his shoulders. And as you reach out your hands, one on each of the side, smaller diamonds, you close your eyes and you begin to mutter an incantation. And under your hands, you feel the crumbling of gemstone as it tickles your palms, and these bits of diamond begin to trace about your palm and your fingers, and you can feel the heat of divine essence just at the palm of your hands. So, the 3 of you are here: Taj, Donnie, and Luxian. Luxian has initiated a resurrection ritual. The 3 of you have an opportunity to present something. It can be anything: a prayer, a gift, a promise. You will choose a skill to base this offering in. Anyone on your character sheet will be fine. You just have to present to me this offering. Take your time to think for a moment, that's all right. However, it can only come from Luxian, Donnie, and Taj. Once those offerings are presented, I will have you make some checks, and I will roll a D20.
This can come from me as well.
Yes, it can come from up to 3 members of the adventuring party.
You're trying to make the offering. Do you mean something? Is this something more? I guess how intangible of a thing are you looking for?
I'm going to leave this rather ambiguous.
Okay.
So it's up to you. Like I said, you're going to base your offering in a skill of your choice. But the offering has to make sense with the skill that you choose. You couldn't choose athletics and then pray, obviously. So, for example, if you were... Yes, for example, if you say a prayer that is to whatever deity you might pray to, you would base that in religion. You could also possibly base it in persuasion. Anything that would be orating as an offering could be based in a handful of things. If you are uncertain, or if you would like to present your offering first, I will tell you what the skill that you're going to use is. But if you have a very good idea and you feel as though it's rather connected with what you're going to do, then you may suggest that you would like to use a certain skill.
I think I know what I would want to do. So I'm gonna Lux kind of, since like my hands are obviously cracked by the ritual. Lux leans over to Taj and says, "Get the shards of emerald out of the bag of holding to me."
Yes.
So the shards of emerald that I took from the mine in Emershwell.
Here.
I have Taj place them around Ross's head, and I'm gonna do a religion check, but Luxian begins to chant. Over and over
Mhm.
again.
I have a question Lux makes this roll. Do I have access to my reaction only once during the sequence? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Do the religion check.
I would like you to make a religion check, yes.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Holy shit.
So that's a total of 26.
Luxian, under his breath, rhythmically continues this incantation, this incantatory chant. It provides a very small sense of calm around you. Donnie, Taj, what would you like to present?
So Donnie is basically gonna put it down, set my crossbow down, and kind of open it up and pull out like a little kind of, I imagine like a little like orb for like a magical battery, kind of like powers some of the effects that this crossbow has, and take some wires and kind of basically, I'm basically gonna hook. I'm basically giving Roscoe through magical, what do you call it, paddles.
Sure.
Defibrillators.
Yeah.
Basically that. And I'm planning on athletics to be an Arcana check.
Okay.
And I'm going to use Flash of Genius for this as well.
Okay. Go for it.
Yes. All right. So that is 32.
32.
That's a good roll.
Taj.
The sending stones from Ovens. I want to take those out and lay them next to Roscoe, or in his hands, I guess. And I don't know if I'm touching them or not, but I would like to say, look, I don't know how these things work. Whatever. Roscoe's mom, you are somewhere out in this world, and your son needs your help, and you have to hear me talking to you. And I need you to help your son, if you can hear me. Okay? And I just want to put that out there.
Make a persuasion check.
It's a dirty 20.
As you all present these offerings into the ether, Luxian, you feel that divine essence under your hands erupt under you. It almost becomes too hot to keep your hands there, but you press them down on Roscoe's back. And the light erupts around all of you, and you wince. You blink. But nothing has changed. Roscoe lays there, unmoving, unchanged.
That can't be right.
Lux is gonna like pull back, and I'm gonna use my Ring of the Element to try to cast Resurrection.
What is the spell level of resurrection?
7.
Is it?
Isn't that a ninth
Yep.
level?
Yep. Resurrection.
You're thinking
is
true
7,
resurrection.
Then true resurrection is 9.
Gotcha. Go ahead and make your roll for Ring of the Eloquent.
Is this, do I have access, wait, what kind of role is this?
This is a roll to activate a magic item.
Is that an ability check, or is it,
It's an ability check, yes.
can I use like Flash of Genius on this?
Go for it.
Okay, you get a +5.
Did you set the
And
DC
then
for this?
Wisdom modifier.
I had no idea.
Yes. Luxian, I believe you do not have the ability to use resurrection through your ring.
Oh no.
Once a day while wearing this ring, you can use an action to attempt to cast a spell, a part of your class's spell list that is 1 level above your current spell level capacity. So you have access to a 5th level spell.
Okay, then Ray's dead.
Raise dead. All right.
That's not good.
So I think +5 to this roll.
And you get Flash of Genius as well.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a +5.
So the DC is 20.
And it's just a flat.
I mean, it's not going to be
Wisdom
Roscoe.
check?
It is a flat wisdom check.
That's not good.
+3 for
That's
That's worse than dead.
The DC is 20,
Yep.
which is meet or exceed.
no.
As you try once again to press your hand, the ring glows around your finger, and you close your eyes and chant once more, and you feel that same burst of divine energy flee from your hand, and it cascades across the unmoving body of Roscoe Thorngage in front of you, and it clings to nothing.
I want to cast Detect Magic on little goggles.
As you adjust your goggles around you, you blink and you take a look around the room. You see the magic items on your friends. Nothing else around the room seems to be inherently magical.
Something.
Nothing on Roscoe.
I mean, I got a bunch of magic
Yeah,
items
he's got a
on
bunch
me.
of magic items, yes.
Okay, nothing, but nothing. I guess I was more looking at the fact of like keeping him from being resurrected. or something.
You're right. Something isn't right in here. The magic's not working the way it's supposed to. That should have worked. Misha, what stops magic from working?
Misha, possibly before you hear that, whereabouts are you going?
So you said that as we were going sort of down the hallway to the right, I
You
heard
heard
like
shuffling,
shuffling behind
a door. Yes.
Right. So as Lux would continue down the hallway, and this looks like the door of a room, not like a grand archway. or
It's not a grand archway.
Yeah,
It is a simple door, yes.
I say, well, I guess first I take a step or two towards the door and I just try to listen if I hear anything else. I'm trying to
Make a perception check.
ascertain if I hear specifically like footsteps or if it's maybe something else. 16.
16. You press your ear up against the door and you hear what sounds like sliding of some sort of a hard substance, perhaps wood, something, and then a bit of a thud, as if something was closed.
There's like a brass knob or something,
Mhm.
a knob.
Yes.
I sort of slowly reach for the knob and I try to quietly see if it will turn. without
Make a
making
stealth
any
check.
sound. It's my first ever stealth check.
Hey.
Amazing, yeah.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You grab your wrist on your right hand and slowly turn, using both your arms as leverage, slowly but surely until a very soft click. You begin to pull the door forward. No creaking.
Your camera turned off again.
Ah, wonderful. Yeah. Go ahead and just hit menu twice. Should be fine. Sorry about that, y'all. We have some minor technical difficulties.
There's still getting audio though, right?
Yeah, there should
Yeah.
still be getting audio.
Did I fix it?
Let me see.
Give it a sec.
Did you hit it twice?
I did.
I know mine has a bit of a delay.
Hit it one
more
more
than
time.
Alex's.
Oh.
Yeah, it left on the menu.
Do, 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 do.
And you can
And we're good?
Good.
Cool.
All right. Thank you.
Should I take a bow?
Yes, wonderful. Okay. So, as you pull the door open, you see a rather nice living space. Seems to be a bedroom of some kind, not too grand, not too humble by any means. A rather large, perhaps queen, king-size bed, uncertain, a whole bunch of different tapestries around, wardrobe, bedside cupboard, and whatnot. You can see that there are two windows sort of adorning both sides of the bed, looking out to what you can kind of just barely see as an open plain in the distance. You move over to one of the windows, assuming that is what was shut. You peer out. Go ahead and make another perception check.
13.
13. You look around you. It's the middle of the night. It's dark out there. There's really no torchlight or anything. You can see in the far distance there seems to be a night traveling, perhaps caravan. You're uncertain if it is a trade or just those traveling at night. There seems to be moving torchlight far, far in the distance on one of the main roads that leads into Widowsport as the mansion looks out towards that road and the rest of the vineyard is behind you. This
Far
seems to
too
be the
far.
front.
Far too far for whatever made this sound to have made it in this time.
Yes, that would be, unless they had access to very, very powerful conjuration-based magics.
Because essentially I heard a shuffle. I moved in maybe 2-3 seconds.
Yes.
Just to be stealthy, opened the door, and they were gone.
Yes.
I see nothing in the foreground because I kind of interrupted you, I think.
In the foreground, no, you don't really see much of anything. It's too dark to tell.
I run up to the window. I try to hoist open.
Sure.
The two windows, they're both closed?
They're both closed, yes.
Okay. I run up to one of the windows,
Mm-hmm.
hoist open the window,
Sure.
and I would like to cast I'm on the first floor right now, right?
This is the first floor, yes.
First, what I would like to do is, I'm going to scratch that. I don't even open the window. As I run to the window, I sort of mid-stride misty step outside.
You certainly do. As you take a step forward, you pass your hand by your hip and mutter an incantation under your breath, and as your foot falls in front of you, you do not feel the solidness of wood under you, but the crisp, sort of midnight grass earth under your feet as you now are outside. Make an additional perception check.
18.
18. At this point, you look around, you can see where your point of view was blocked. You can see two figures, one sort of being seemingly forcibly moved by another who has a single hand on the sort of nape of their neck, covered by blackness from the top down. It's hard to ascertain what is or isn't part of clothing or as a part of their figure. But the other one, you can see just barely in the moonlight, glimmering bits of sort of yellow corn-colored hair as it's being moved forward, just towards the outskirts of the vineyard. You can see in the far distance the sort of edge of what seems to be, what you assume to be the Whisperwood, far, far great in the distance. But these two figures perhaps are but 50 feet away from you, to the left, crossing across the courtyard.
There's no barrier there's no fencing.
Nothing presents anything in between the two of you.
The moment I see them, I say in my mind, I say, 2 figures escaping. And
Just before you hear that, you hear the voice of Taj in your head.
What stops magic?
Because of the tone of the scene, I'm going to avoid making a funny quip.
Sure.
I reach into my component pouch, I pull out a sort of a sprinkle of dust, and as I sort of loose it into the air, I create a force shield to contain both. Well, I don't know who it is, but the 2 figures. I'm trying to contain them in a force bubble.
Sure. Is there any sort of check that I must make?
There is no check.
Would you like to read the spell to me?
I will. An invisible wall of force springs into existence. The range is 120 feet.
Got it.
An invisible wall of force springs into existence at a point you choose within range. The wall appears in any orientation you choose, as a horizontal or vertical barrier, or at an angle. It can be free-floating or resting on a solid surface. You can form it into a hemispherical dome or sphere with a radius of up to 10 feet, or you can shape a flat surface made of 10-foot by 10-foot panels. So you can make a wall or a sphere. It lasts for the duration, which is 10 minutes. If the wall cuts through a creature's space when it appears, the creature is pushed to one side of the wall, your choice which side. Nothing can physically pass through the wall. It is immune to all damage and can't be dispelled by dispel magic. A disintegrate spell destroys the wall instantly, however. The wall also extends into the ethereal plane, blocking ethereal travel through the wall.
That's really cool.
As you sprinkle that dust into the air, it sort of begins to eject just in front of you, almost as similar to magic missiles as they erupt out of your palms and fingertips. But they, instead of striking at your foe, they begin to coalesce around the 2 targets, and a shimmering force sets itself in space around them, and you can see one of them sort of jostle forward and sort of be knocked back just for a moment, and just sort of stop and look around and hold. The figure seems to turn around and push the head of the other figure down to a point where they're holding them basically at the hip, and turns, and you can see now the visage of seems to be a rather handsome, raven-haired, tousled, sort of curled, plate mail wearing, dark ebony cloak across his shoulders, youngish man, just sort of confused, and he locks eyes with you. He doesn't say much, but you see his arm moves with blurring speed across his torso, and you hear a thud, and the figure that he was holding slumps onto the ground, and he just sort of looks at you. You can hear a deep sigh. You can see him begin to sort of touch the wall of force around him. He sort of sits cross-legged, just looking at you, just waiting. You hear in your head, everyone, Misha saying, 2 figures outside.
Is it them? Is it?
I'm just gonna run to go find Misha.
Yeah, I say, in my mind, I say, I have contained them for now. 1 figure on the ground, another long black hair, a not that this is the time for this, but reasonably attractive. I have maybe 10 minutes I can hold them.
Go get her, please.
And then I say to Nemesio, I kind of make my body language a bit more relaxed. I walk up and I say, I have only just arrived. Where are you going?
Well, I have a appointment that I must be at. So, you seem to be keeping me from my destination. Why, might I ask?
Well, I heard a great deal of chaos happening in the home here, and I thought maybe it would be good if we just took a moment to, make sure everything is all right.
Everything is wonderful. The plan perhaps has been modified, but all is calm amidst this chaos you speak of.
I did see the second figure, right, who's now laying on the floor.
You can
but-
see-
You saw her get walloped.
Yeah.
You can see now it's just a sort of shallow breath of an unmoving figure.
I have to assume that this one's plans were greatly modified on this evening.
Ah, yes. Well, technically this evening their plans were rather straightforward. But perhaps the plans many moons ago have been modified, yes.
I say in my head, it is definitely them.
Please go get her.
That is easier said than done. I say, well, I might as well tell you. We have about 10 minutes to sit here and chat. I thought, frankly, my company isn't always such great conversationalists, so you seem to be, just from your movements, I can tell you are quite skilled. You can't spare a few moments to, well, I guess we could entertain each other for a minute.
You seem to be quite the linguist. And your mother tongue, it is based in the West, yes?
That is right. You are quite observant.
You must be a smart young man. This incantation, you've caught me at the perfect opportunity. You see, my cloak has already been activated. You've caught me. This gilded cage I sit in. But I fear that you see me as a sparrow, when in fact I am a falcon, and you are a mouse, pricking at my feathers.
I have no doubt that you will make your way out of this cage. It is not meant to contain you, but merely to, like I said, to settle the moment. And well, I have to be honest. I think maybe you should leave this other one here. It looks like she could use some attention.
You see, on any other night, at any other place, I would be happy to leave you this woman. But you see, what you do not understand is that I have a contract. And my promises, my covenants, they are signed with blood. My blood. It is not something that I can simply relinquish. I have no quarrel here with you or who I assume to be your companions still inside. I have no quarrel with this young woman. I am hired hand. I am a sellsword. But my price is very high because I simply am not allowed to fail.
Do I know anything about sort of magic that would use blood to beholden somebody to complete a task? I know the suggestion spell, so I know of magics that, would bind someone to a task, but
Sure.
the ones that I know of are limited amounts of time that I assume this one goes far beyond.
If you're specifically inquiring about specific magics, make it an Arcana check.
Yep. That's 28.
28. You are uncertain about. There are a handful of spells that you know offhand that use blood as components to be able to cast them. He seems to be speaking more along the lines of some sort of magical contract. There are ways to infuse Arcana into objects, as you know. He seems to be suggesting that whatever deal he has come into, or continues to go into, as he seems to be a sellsword, and so he says, they are backed by something more than just an oath or a monetary value. What he means by his blood, you're uncertain.
Sure.
I will allow you to make a religion check. The DC will be rather high.
Come on, baby. 18.
18. You've heard of people entering into oaths with greater creatures, deities, and the like. A companion previous to the group that you're currently in had a similar pact as it's been explained to you, but you're uncertain what it means that Nemesio has suggested to you. Of course, you do not know that that is this gentleman's name, but we're speaking plainly.
I as well have no quarrel with you. What is it that you need from the girl? Maybe there's a simpler way to solve this problem.
Information is my goal.
Mine as well.
Well, if I could simply come up with what I'm looking for from this one, then we wouldn't necessarily need to have this conversation, but I'm looking for a way to loose her from her bindings. You see, she is a member of Foundation. Rather decent agent as far as I can tell. And those that are trusted within Foundation seem to be unable to relinquish what I seek. So now, every once in a while, I test my luck, but now I must find a way to get the cat's tongue, so to speak.
So all you need is this information, and then you leave the girl. She is no use to you beyond that.
Well, I leave her to my master, yes.
Oh, may I ask who your master is?
Fortunately, due to the nature of my contract, I'm sure you can make a few guesses. And he sort of looks about the area around him. And I am unfortunately prohibited from speaking about them.
I see.
As this conversation continues, Donnie, you begin to make your way out of the mansion. What direction are you going?
I felt mentally to Nisha. You said you're outside?
Yes, I am outside. I'm on, I would describe the side. I guess I'd say the side. It's the side
Facing the road.
facing the road.
Yeah.
I'm on side of house facing the road. Please, I feel like maybe I'm making headway, so maybe don't make it worse. Just come and maybe hang out. It'll be great.
Bring some cheese.
Well, so I guess I'll head through whatever doors I see that seem to lead towards that direction.
Sure. As you ascend the stairs and make your way into the hallway, you make a sharp left turn, and you can see that there's the foyer in front of you, and the front doors to the outskirts of the mansion lie in front of you. That's a pretty quick and direct way to get out into the front courtyard. All right, as you open the doors, Misha, as you're speaking with Nemesio, you see the front doors to the mansion open, and Donnie sort of steps out into the night air around you. Donnie, you look to your right and you see Misha not too far away from you in the middle of a conversation with a familiar-looking figure sitting cross-legged, sort of surrounded by some sort of a shimmering bit of arcanum just around him. You can't necessarily ascertain what it is. And a slumped over, unmoving figure. Ever so slightly, you can see the shifting of breath of this unmoving figure at his side. He sits cross-legged, like I said, in the midst of this conversation.
Can I identify this one person as Ophelia?
You can make a pretty good assumption of that, yes.
I will walk up. And I think Guy just has this as the fucking like his expression is like really like cold, clinical, like. All right. So.
Because you haven't seen him yet, right?
I haven't seen him.
I don't know. Have you seen him?
I actually don't think you have,
so.
no.
Yeah. You see him now, but not yet.
Yes.
But I can see this person who I assume.
Yeah. You can make a good assumption, yes.
I can more or less guess who, like, because I did hear like someone being attacked.
For sure.
Right.
So I can, and the fact that he has Ophelia, I think
Yeah.
is
Right.
so I think just walk through, like.
I say, this is my friend. He also, I'm sure, has no particular quarrel with you. And I say, we are just trying to find a simple solution to this situation we find ourselves in.
Pleasure to meet you. What is your name?
I just ignore it and say, what do you want?
I only seek information.
What information do you need?
Unfortunately, due to the nature of my contract, I cannot divulge this information.
Alright, I will stick out my tongue. I will tell you everything I am able to. Let her go.
Make a persuasion check.
Good guy,
I'm not
Donnie.
very good at those.
You should get
Can
bonus
I-
points for heart.
Can I somehow grant help because I'm to this check because I'm facilitating this relaxed
Yes.
negotiation
The
environment?
diplomacy.
Go ahead and make your persuasion with advantage.
Yes. Roll with advantage, baby.
Oh, you said with advantage?
With
Yeah.
advantage,
Yeah.
sure.
Then I will not question.
Yeah,
Okay.
say it.
Alright. Yes, 16.
16.
I think he said 60.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
say that.
Mathematically possible.
16.
Yeah, for sure. 16. As you stick out your tongue, the raven-haired gentleman looks at you, and seems rather interested. And he responds, well, this is a bit more of a, well, you do seem familiar. You are the one that got away, aren't you?
That's the last thing you were there, didn't
Yes. Yes, I was. Your offer is tantalizing. But the problem is this one. And he points at Ophelia. I know to be, how you say, of a higher position than yourself. And you bear the same mark on your tongue. So what then could you tell Nemesio that this one could not?
So I have some questions about the nature of the mark that I have.
Yes.
So, I assume I can also not write things down.
No, you cannot.
It would prevent me from saying.
Yes.
What happens if I cut out my?
You don't know?
I would also like to say in character to Donnie, in my head, into your head, I say, I'm blanking on his name, damn it. Rake and Spotter. I say in his head, I say, Spotter did lose his binding, right? Did you understand how that happened?
The Inquisitor did some kind of magic shit and was able to break the
That's right.
the curse or whatever it was.
I was unable to understand what that was, right, from an Arcana perspective, okay? It is maybe card we could play if we have to. We know it is possible. And then I stop.
Taj and Luxian, what are you doing?
Lux is going to attempt to cast life transference at 4th level. And so, the research that I've been doing while we've been on the journey, and specifically with Rev, basically, like, I remember I talked to you about, like, I wanted to, like, Luxian was going to be contemplating the idea of two souls occupying the same body.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, what Lux is going to try to do is
He's gonna try to get inside you.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
pretty much
One hand,
use
one
life
heart, baby.
transference to try to reach in with his own soul to try to find Roscoe's.
All right.
I know that's super out there.
That's okay.
I don't know how that's gonna work,
First-
but it's super fucking dope.
It's pretty dope. First, I know I haven't lost the feed yet, but Matt,
Yeah.
just cursory because I don't want anything interrupted.
Yeah, you're about
Just-
3 minutes away.
There
I
you go,
think.
perfect. Every once in a while,
I'm in a
peer
force
over.
cage. Oh my god.
Oh no!
You okay? Okay.
Yeah, just hit menu twice and it should be fine.
I know how messy it feels. One. How do we look?
Still good.
Yeah, you'd have to ask Alex. He's got a.
Mine's on a delay. All right, so that hit that. Okay, we're good. Thank you.
Cool.
Okay.
This is really interesting.
Luxian, I would like you to roll a D100 for me.
Yeah, of course.
If you roll exactly a 17, it'll work.
Come
Fun
on.
little number.
Question before I roll.
Yep.
Would I be able to use Tides of Chaos on this one?
Yes.
Oh, I like this.
Okay, so I can't see your face, but I just saw your face on screen.
The evil smile.
94. So you once again lay your hands on the body of Roscoe Thorngage. You close your eyes and mutter an incantation. And life transference fails. Unfortunately, for a semblance of this to work, what I will say, because you rolled a 94, and the goal was 95 to 100. And what I will say, this gives you a small sense of clarity. Usually, at least from what you've ascertained through your studies and your practices as a medic, as a cleric, through your studies as you're traveling abroad, through your prayers, through your connection with Aimun, you sort of know that when someone falls, their spirit tends to linger for a few moments. That is why Revivify is effective. A minute after, you may attempt to cast the spell, and that lingering soul can be returned. After all these attempts to raise Roscoe, even seemingly successfully being able to tap in to your family heirloom's power and cast Raise Dead, which is an extended time period that can reach into the afterlife and pull the soul back to the body, there must be a free soul to take. You ascertain that Roscoe's spirit, his soul, seems to be unable to return to his body for some reason.
Realizing this,
This boy deserves peace, man.
I think, Sal, I think now would be an appropriate time for the roll.
I think so too.
For what?
Oh boy.
18 total.
18 total. You save.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was.
So, Taj, once again, Luxian tries, and you see him for a moment tense. He takes a deep breath and he exhales. You can see there's beads of sweat around his head, and he seems to have tried anything he can, but nothing is working.
I've got potions. Do you think that would work better than magic?
Lux, it doesn't say anything. He's like kneeling in essentially the pool of Roscoe's blood, and he like pulls his hands back and just like watches them shake, and like he just doesn't say anything.
Okay. I just want to try laying my hands on Roscoe and doing healing hands.
You put your hands on the back of Roscoe Thorngage and you attempt to force life back into his body, and your hands glow for a moment, but they dull just as quickly.
Is it this dungeon? If we take him outside, will that... Can we move him?
Lux, like very calmly, but like hands still shaking, just says, "Go inside, Tosh.
Do you want me to take him?
Go outside."
Fine. I go outside.
Okay. The scene out in the courtyard, Nemesio sort of twiddling his thumbs, sort of stretches a bit. Well, all that I'm here, you don't mind if I clean a few things. And he unsheaths a great serrated blade and he drapes it across his legs, and you can see that there's blood and ichor still staining on it. And he just sort of, messy business downstairs, you understand. You're trying to do work, people interrupt, and now we're here. The blade is all... It's disgusting, really. I'm a man of cleanliness. I try to do things by the book. Now a wrench has been thrown in my cog, and I'm fine. This is fine. It's all right, right? And he pats Ophelia's unmoving head. All right. And he moves over and he takes his blade and he cuts just a bit of what Ophelia seems to wear over her shoulder, and he takes the tattered garments and he just begins to clean his blade on his lap. So you said 10 minutes, yes?
10 minutes, yes.
How long do you think it has been?
I don't know. Time flies when you're having fun, you know.
That is true. Not by fast enough.
Yeah, I'm sure you are a man that is not imposed upon very often, so I hope you will forgive my intrusion.
Oh, this is impressive.
Yeah,
Do not get it wrong. This is good work. If I were to be honest with you, if your companions did not get the jump on me, which Messio, I suffer from hubris, apparently, as I've been told. And, well, it has been a while since someone has been able to strike me as your companion did. And he turns, and now, Taj, as you can see, as you cross through the threshold of the open front door of the mansion, you see the scene before you, as previously described. Donnie and Misha standing outside of a shimmering bit of arcanum around a seated, sort of cleaning his blade, Nemesio, and the unmoving, still slightly breathing, unconscious Ophelia next to him.
You motherfucker. I would like to run towards this person.
You reach up to the shimmering bit of arcanum, and it stops you in front of him. And he just sort of looks up at you. 10 minutes, apparently.
Great.
Taj, how are things inside?
Very bad.
You can be more...
And he wrings the blood
Yeah.
in front of him, and he tosses the garment, and it hits the force around him and just sort of lays in front of him. And he sheaths the sword behind him, now cleaned.
In Taj's head, I say, can you be more specific? I'm trying to save the day here.
Roscoe is lying, bleeding on the floor. Dead.
Spells don't work across this shield, correct?
Correct.
Right. Roscoe is dying. 10 minutes.
That is what I've been told.
If you don't tell me what the fuck you did to Roscoe in these next 2 minutes, you are gonna lose your head when this thing comes off.
Oh, I killed him.
Put him back!
I can't do that.
Oh, sure you can.
No, you see, when I kill, it is for good. You did this, not me. I warned you. I warned him. It is simple action-reaction. Did they not teach you this in school? You are of the Hyrith Academy, yes?
That's right.
Well, it is simple physics.
Sorry, while Nemesio was talking, I'm going to try to circle around so that I'm standing behind him.
You do so.
I also say in Donnie's head, I say, can you detect magic on him and see if it is his blade specifically?
Sure. Yeah, I will. I'll cast detect magic.
It will take me.
Will that work for this?
You should be able to see him because it affects your vision. Sal can rule whether.
Yeah, I don't think that it would
Yeah.
block. Yeah.
And then I say to Nemesio, they teach a great many things there, but I'm not sure I'm familiar with what do you mean by when I kill, it's for good?
Oh, yes. I have been given many gifts. I'm very good at what I do. You could say that well, the one time that I did break an oath, I gave a few things up. But
I seem to have found, and he unsheaths his serrated blade,
a few things to fill that void.
and Donnie, as you cast Detect Magic, it envelops the area around you, and you see the cloak, the plate, the blade, and a pendant that is not visible to any of you, all on Nemesio. That seems to be magical. The blade, in particular, is immensely powerful. It's almost blinding to look at.
Can I determine the rules of magic? I'm also looking for anything.
The schools of magic. Yes, the cloak is it is imbued with conjuration magic. The plate is imbued with what's that school? That's basically should be enchantment, but it's not.
Do they change the schools?
No, it's just like when you like enchant something, it's not actually enchantment based in
Yeah.
D&D.
Transmutation.
Transmutation.
I think transmutation. Yeah, the plate is based in transmutation. The pendant is necromancy, and the blade is also necromancy.
I'll share that mentally with everyone.
I would like to, seeing that I'm getting nowhere with Nemesio, I would like to kneel down over where Ophelia is
Mhm.
and just say, Ophelia, are you okay?
She's unconscious.
Motherfucker! Don't talk to me!
She cannot answer it for you. I'm simply telling you what you need to hear.
Is there any way you can make it so that they can be brought back? You know, I know some people are very intellectual when it comes to their abilities, and others are more like, natural talents. I don't know if you have complete control over these things or not.
Well, the problem with your question is that this is not something that will be undone. You see, your friend here made a mistake. And that is the price of their mistake.
That's bullshit.
That's life.
What if I make a deal with you?
And what deal would that be?
Listen, I'm a pretty smart guy. Clearly, I think you have determined there are certain things you are going to be able to learn from Ophelia. I can find a way to tell you some things that she can't.
And how can you do that?
How much time do you need? What's your deadline?
Things are beginning to pick up rather quickly. The East has already begun the great change. My master is interested in this. There is not necessarily a strict deadline, but the sooner the better. I'm still not convinced that you have the, power to tell me the things I need to know. You are no one. This is someone.
They're partners. They're equals.
Shows how much you know. And you care about this one, do you not? You know nothing about her, clearly. Nemesio knows all about her.
What do you know?
Again, you ask me something I simply cannot answer.
You're choosing not to tell.
Oh no, I am bound against my own tongue in a very similar way.
Then I will wring it out of your throat.
Take me instead of her. I will help you remove the mark from you, and I will tell you what you want to know, on the condition that you let us get it go, and you give us our friend's soul back, or whatever it is.
Make a deception check.
Oh.
I was gonna argue against that, but you know what? Yeah, I feel kind of.
Yeah, you also like don't know how to help him.
Redneck into.
Fuck.
Nat 1. He just sort of looks at you and he chuckles.
Excuse me. I understand this is serious for you all. You cannot help me. I cannot put your friend's soul back. This is not how it works.
Do you know that's not how it works, or you just don't know that it's not how it works? Did I say that right?
You did say it right.
Okay.
That is not how it works. So, it's been about 7 minutes, I think. What do you think? Oh, right.
In my head, I say, Luxian, what is happening in there?
Luxian. Taj has left you. What are you doing?
So pretty soon after Taj leaves, Lux is as hard as it is for him to accept it, he's going to close Roscoe's eyelids and say like a burial prayer, like a sending prayer over Roscoe, and he's gonna make his way back outside. So depending on how long this conversation was happening, and depending on how far Lux has to move, I think he would be outside.
Are you taking the body with you or are you leaving it down there?
I know that I can't carry it with me.
Well, you can. Roscoe's small.
He's a halfling.
He's just a little boy.
Can I mentally, I guess I see her with a Lux at this point. Mentally, Lux, hit the collar.
I do have a collar.
I hope you are making the most of your last 3 minutes of life.
Wait.
I have many, many more days. Much longer than 3 minutes.
Sal?
Yes, Sal.
What's the oil of etherealness do?
I believe you use an action to coat yourself in it, and it casts etherealness on you.
It's not an action, though. It takes like 10 minutes
Just
to
kidding.
apply.
It takes 10 minutes. It's like a ritual casting.
Never mind. Yeah, I'm gonna try to carry Roscoe out.
Alrighty. At this point that you've said this, you see now emerging from the front doors, Luxian covered in blood, holding the unmoving body of Roscoe. And you see the Messiah just sort of,
The gang's all here. 2 minutes?
he looks at you, Misha.
I have a prediction. In a very short while here, you were going to be thinking back when you took this job, and you were going to be thinking to yourself, "My God, if only I hadn't done that."
It is possible. But it is highly unlikely. You all are squeaking rodents pricking at my nest as I sit here with my bounty. You tried to kill me. And so, in return, I killed one of you. You are not strong enough. A mouse cannot take down the bird of prey.
You work for them. Those people in there.
Perhaps I do. Perhaps I don't.
Do they know that you've kidnapped and beat a woman to death in their basement?
You believe that this woman is dead?
No. You motherfucker.
Which woman do you speak of then?
Do they know that you kidnapped people? Did they... Are they the ones who assigned you this? I don't understand what you do.
It is not for you to understand. I have no quarrel with you. Our business has been taken care of. You attempt to take my life, and so, the transaction, in return, I took that one's life.
I'd like to look up at the windows of the manor. Can I see them?
You do?
Any lights on?
Nope.
Okay. Can I just take out my arrow and can I just start shooting at windows?
Certainly. Make an attack roll.
Okay. Low. It's not good. 12.
12. So you don't, it doesn't need to be high. You knock and loose an arrow and it slams into the leftmost window on the top floor and it breaks and shatters. Glass falls. And the Messio, that's a pretty good shot.
Okay, wake up everyone. Good morning.
Oh, no one is home.
Can I do a quick insight when he says no one's home?
Go for it.
Man, Jamie, quick on the draw with that insight check. I like it.
That's something I've been looking for. I got a 6.
A 6. He is calm as a cucumber. It's very hard to read.
But he has been honest with this. Well, I guess I'll make a guess.
We were also all kind of loud in there.
True, and I would doubt someone would show up. There was someone there.
Not that it matters a whole lot. I was going to say at this point, Lux would have like gently laid Roscoe's body down. And
Thanks, man.
I'm going to cast Enhance Ability at 3rd level on Enhance Ability at 3rd level on Misha, who I will give Misha's spellcasting as intelligence. So I'm going to give him Fox's cunning.
All right.
And then I'm going to give Taj Cat's Grace. So they now they have advantage on any checks involving for Taj dexterity or Misha intelligence, and then for Taj they also don't take damage from falling flame unless if it isn't.
Good to know.
Thank you.
I say in the minds of the three of you, I say, he's going to be free imminently. We have seconds to decide if there is anything else to do. I don't know how to stop him permanently.
Can you do it again?
This, no.
You all seem to be preparing for something. And if my tempo is correct, I should be free in the next 30 seconds.
I will ready to cast Fairy Fire on him. What's the show?
All right.
And I would like to have a sword ready.
Alrighty.
You have a sword.
I've got many swords.
By sword, do you mean dagger?
I've
Fucking
got
strap,
Tempest
dude.
Fang.
Keep that
I've
thang
got-
on you.
I'll keep that thang on me.
Tempest Fang is not a dagger.
Oh, I thought it was a dagger.
That's a big rainbow
I
sword.
apologize.
Thank you.
You see his eyes flash red for a moment. Ah, very sneaky. Come out, wherever you are. And we're gonna take a break.
What?
There. No one's over there right now, so Matt, if you wouldn't mind just heading over, all you have to do is hit the "be right back" sort of little toggle on the
It'll say it
bottom
under
right.
scene, right?
Yeah, it should say it in the scenes on the bottom right. Be right back, and then hit transition in the middle of the screen, I believe.
Okay, goodbye, everybody.
All right, goodbye. We'll see you in like 10 minutes. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
We'll see you in 10 minutes.
Brutal.
Go for it.
You said you knew.
I knew.
All right, I think
he
we're
had
back.
been
Yes. All right, welcome back,
That's all
everyone.
I knew.
Matt's going to be taking a seat just now, and we will jump right back into it. If you are still in chat and you've been with us since the start of this stream, thank you very much. Thank you for sticking through technical difficulties. I'm pretty sure that we fixed the having to like turn the camera on and off thing, mostly because I was stupid. But anyways, if you could let us know in chat if the audio levels, everything like that is fine, and I believe everything else should be all good. But yeah, I'll just be checking that here and there.
Let
Anyways.
us know so you don't miss any of our dazzling dialogue.
Exactly. But yes, jumping directly back into it. So, you all have prepared your varied actions.
I take several steps back.
All right. Nemesio's eyes had flashed red, and he had uttered the phrase, come out, wherever you are. And you hear a bit of rustling from sort of the overgrown, shown vineyard shrubbery walls that sort of cascade about the vineyard around the mansion. And a rather hulking figure sort of steps up. Two great weapons held in their hands, heavily breathing with a scowl on their face, glaring directly at Nemesio. Golden scales adorn around them, and this hulking dragonborn breathing. May you see this scene before you. Your companion, childhood friend Roscoe, held in the hands of this elf, man, woman, you're uncertain. These different people all having this conversation, but you know that that is the man who killed your friend Roscoe. And he sits there without even turning around. Ah, interesting. I take it you are not with them.
I can be for a fight.
Well, you're in the right place.
And that's my time. And he stands up, and you see the shimmering arcanum around him fades, and he unsheaths his sword and readies himself. Everybody roll initiative, and we will go through each one of our immediate actions.
Alex, remember, you get a D8 added.
I got an 18.
18.
Since I have
All right, hold on
advantage-
to all your things real quick.
My
I'm going to
bad.
be changing the sound
Wait,
to
so-
battle music.
You have advantage on.
Dex. So if I have advantage on Dex, does that affect my initiative at all?
Yeah.
Your dex bonus is your initiative bonus.
So do I roll advantage on initiative?
Yeah,
You have advantage on dex checks?
Oh,
It'll
that
specifically
true?
say for initiative.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Alex, does that... No, a dex check...
If you have advantage on dex checks,
Then
that
you
is an
do.
initiative
Yep.
roll. So you have advantage on initiative rolls, yes.
It's better now.
Because if you manage to hex somebody and give them disadvantage on dex checks before battle starts,
Oh, that's
then they
nice.
get disadvantage on initiative, which is hilarious.
That's pretty good.
Wah, wah, it's a 1. That's okay.
Okay, so
Doesn't matter.
You knew.
I didn't.
No, he just made it up.
I had made a character. I didn't know.
yeah, he didn't know. All I told him was to make a character.
That's awesome.
Okay, so it's pretty loud, you said? Oh no, I thought that was just in my head.
better.
Okay, so 20 to 25 initiative.
How
15
about
to 20.
How about
17.
above 25?
I
Sal?
got
Are you
18.
Really?
Yeah, I got a 26.
Okay, 26. Mish, what'd you say you got? Garrett?
Garrett, yeah. 18.
18.
17.
Okay.
Well, we'll figure out names later.
For your new person.
I'm just gonna cover it up in my thing though.
You don't want me seeing your name.
I don't want you looking at the
10 to
character sheet
15?
yet.
I got 10.
Oh no.
Oh, Jamie.
5 to 10.
I got a 7.
7, got it. Okay. So, held actions. Misha, you are not holding anything.
I was not holding
No.
anything.
May, you are not holding anything. Taj,
I
what
was
are you
basically
holding?
taking the dodge action if I was holding
Okay, that's fine.
something.
Dodge action. Sure.
I was holding a sword.
Okay, so you were not holding an attack. You were just readying your sword. Good to know. Okay.
Oh.
Lux,
Well, you could have been holding an attack.
you cast
What does this
command.
imply?
I cast command.
Yes. What would you like to attempt to command Nemesio to do?
Don't say it's what we talked about in the chat
Don't
beforehand.
Please, though, you could do it.
I know, but Luxian wouldn't think about it that way. I am going to try to speak the command surrender.
Surrender. Okay. It is a wisdom saving throw, yes?
Correct.
That's a good word.
That is a natural 2. You succeed. On his next turn, he will use his action to surrender for the turn.
But he's only just that turn, right?
It's only for that.
Sure. Donnie, you are holding an action.
Yeah, I was gonna cast Fairy.
You loose the spell and cast fairy fire around you all.
So that's a dex save, 17.
Dex save 17.
Command stop if he takes damage.
That's a fail. That's a 7.
Cool. So yeah, for the next minute, while I concentrate, all attacks against him have advantage.
Alrighty.
Oh,
So he
dope.
cannot benefit from invisibility.
Amazing.
Alrighty. So, all of that finishing out. Top of the real initiative, Misha, you are first up.
Yeah. The player knows whatever I do that's awesome, he's gonna just be like, nope.
Try it.
He's got legendary resistances.
Who cares? Waste one.
He didn't use any for the ones that he just failed.
I know. I know.
He ran out of the dungeon.
He used 2 in
it's
the
fine.
dungeon.
I'm going to say, I thought we were hitting it off pretty well, actually. Why don't you just leave the weapon, leave the girl, and go? And I cast suggestion.
Suggestion. That is what kind of a save?
It is wisdom.
Wisdom. I believe he makes this at advantage because it's in the middle of a fight.
It's a good question. Let me look.
Yeah, if your opponents are attacking, it's usually.
Well, yeah, for charm-based spells, yes.
No. It says if you or any of your companions damage the target, the spell ends, but it does
Got it.
not say what normally
Got it?
out in the battle, yeah.
Is that, what kind of a save is that? Sorry?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. That is a 7.
Fails.
He's going to use his last legendary resistance to succeed on it.
Okay. Can I recognize anything physically?
Just
Okay.
fails.
So it just fails.
Yeah, it's really just a battle mechanic.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then I'm not going to do anything with my bonus action, except if I may, I'm going to use my bonus action in my head to say, in Taj's mind, now would be a good time to put the sword down and pick up the wand.
At the end of your turn, he's going to use one of his legendary actions and move at blinding speeds towards you specifically, Misha. And he's going to attempt to grapple you. So it is a athletics or acrobatics check on your end.
It's going to go great.
Wizards famously athletic.
Yes, I think I'm a +1. Hey, it's a dirty 20,
Dirty 20.
right? Yeah, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. 26. Nemesio reaches
You
up to you,
slow-rolling
and as you
motherfucker.
begin to step back, he grabs your throat, and he lifts you into the air, and your feet dangle. You are grappled. That is the end of his legendary action. At the top of his turn, his mind sort of and he drops you. And he falls on the ground, and he puts his sword at his side, and he holds his hands up and puts his head down. And that is the end of his turn. May, you see that happen.
Time to die, little man! And so she's going to rush him.
Go for it.
Sorry for everyone that probably spiked.
That was awesome.
Well, it's not one. Luckily, I had advantage. How does a... Oh, I forgot to say, I meant to... That was supposed to be a rage.
Bonus action rage.
Okay, cool.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that is... it's only a 13 to hit, I think.
13, unfortunately, is going to miss, even with advantage, as you come crashing down with your giant club, attempting to batter.
Oh, no, that was the great axe.
Come crashing down with the great... Okay, yes.
Yeah,
come crashing down with the
I
great
got
axe.
both. I figured great axe. I was going to go great axe and then club.
Sure,
Normally
sounds
I
good to
have
me.
two-handed.
You slam the great axe. You do see normally great axes are wielded with two hands, but this Dragonborn seems to be wielding two-handed weapons with a single hand in each.
That's pretty cool.
And the axe comes down, and even the Messio, sort of almost pronated, the blinding rage that fills you, you trip just for a moment, and it comes crashing down just next to Messio. This sort of visage of this calm man who's slain your closest friend, you choke just for a moment.
That's okay, because I want... How this strike is going to work is I'm basically using that in the ground as leverage to
Sure. Go for it.
with the club. How does a 23 treat?
23 will hit.
Cool. So that's a D8 plus... I assume I have the D6 on this because it's nighttime. Under
The moon is out.
Is the moon out?
The moon is out.
Okay. All right, so that's going to be a 12 plus 2, so 14 damage. Oh, wait, plus 3 for my rage.
17 points of
17
damage. Good to know.
And that's cold damage, if that matters at all.
It is. You slam the club just at the back of his head and crack into him as small bits of frost coalesce against the edge of it and shatter against him, and he dealt some damage. Well done. Is that the end of your turn?
Yep, that's all I can do. I use my
Alrighty.
bonus action. All I got's my opportunity attack.
Beautiful. Taj, you're up. Lux, you're on deck.
Okay, tell me how much of this I can do. I would like to grab Ophelia and pull her away from this man.
You will use your movement to move towards Ophelia, probably only like 5 feet. You're right there. You grab Ophelia and begin to move her away. He's left that area because he rushed up to Misha, so he doesn't get an opportunity attack against you. He probably wouldn't because he's surrendering right now.
Okay.
So you succeed in beginning to move her away. You move at half speed. So you can use an additional 10 feet of movement to move her away, and that is the entirety of your movement.
Okay, but I can still.
You have an action and a bonus action.
Okay. I would like to say to him, okay, you like to dance? Try this. And I would like to turn him into like a fucking walrus, please.
Into a fucking walrus?
Yes, please.
Sure. What save would I have to make?
That's an interesting question.
It's wisdom for polymorph.
Wisdom.
It'd be 10. It'd be 10 plus your whiz modifier.
Thank you.
So
It might be specific because it's an item.
that's true. It might be.
Hi.
What's the DC?
It's a great question.
I think he's checking it now.
It's too bad you have a physical character
It's
sheet
not
and
written
not,
on my character
and not the thing that the rest of us
and
are
not
using.
D&D Beyond. I know. Please. Let me something.
It's DC 15.
It's 15.
Yes.
I rolled a 15. You loose the wand and it's meter exceed.
Oh, right.
As you loose the wand, a little small mote of energy slams against his back and it dissipates. No effect. He's still head down, surrendering.
I just keep backing up.
Okay. You have a bonus action.
I do. Can I somehow use it to help somebody?
Would you like to help?
Donnie?
Donnie,
somehow?
sure. Using your class ability to use your bonus action 30 feet away from you to give help towards your companion, Donnie, on your next Ability check, attack roll, you have advantage.
Okay.
Luxian, you're up.
You can't get. I already have advantage for Fairy Fire. Is that stacking?
It does not stack, no.
Shit. Sorry.
Luxian, you're up.
How far away from the Messier?
10 feet.
10 feet?
Yep.
Then Lux is going to move up and put the mage bait collar on his neck.
You were carrying Roscoe this entire time, so you must drop Roscoe first.
He did say he dropped me
He
off
did.
the ground.
Just kidding. Go ahead and make a grapple attempt.
Tides of Chaos.
Oh, also, hold on, because you cast Command, and you used Tides of Chaos before on your...
I hadn't used Tides of Chaos yet.
You used it earlier.
Oh, you didn't use it on the D100?
Because he rolled a 94.
Got it. Got it, okay. I'll allow it. Tides of Chaos. Go for it.
14.
18. As you rush up to slam the collar against him, again, as you move closer, you feel a weird sensation as you move up in range of him, and you hesitate, and you can't bring yourself to latch this onto him. That is your action. You have a bonus action.
Bonus action, cast spiritual weapon.
All right. Tides of Chaos will erupt.
Oh no.
Are you rolling it or are you want me to?
You can go ahead and roll it.
24.
24. All right, give me a moment. I got to bring up the.
The good news is at least I'm right next to the enemy.
You said 24?
Yeah.
As you loose this spell, you feel a weird sensation in the back of your mind. The spell succeeds, but your mind is clouded for a moment. The next attack roll you make within the next minute has disadvantage.
Oh no.
Well, that's regular since it's at advantage right now.
Because
Sure.
Fairy Fire.
Yeah.
That is the end of your turn. Donnie, you're up.
Alright, I'm shooting this man in the dick with
All right, wonderful.
Please do.
I just need cold shot dick.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. And I'm using sharp.
Go for it.
Grab his dick and twist it.
The old dick twist. Oh, dude, this is an MMA fight, dude.
Alright, so that's gonna be a 15 to hit.
15 misses. As you loose the arrow, once again, this force around him seems to cloud your mind, and you shake as you fire this bolt, and it goes awry.
Alright, second one I think also misses. It's less than that, so.
Yeah, you can't find yourself even to fire the next shot.
Well, bonus shot for a third shot.
Try, go for it.
Amazing.
There's a 23.
23 will hit, yes.
Ooh.
It has before.
This time it doesn't.
I just decided it doesn't.
The 21 damage.
21 points of damage.
Also going to trigger some, and I currently have arcane jolt.
Okay.
It'll take an additional 2d6.
Does that require a bonus action or anything, or?
Once per turn, you can target with a magic weapon attack, which this is. You can choose to either deliver an extra 2d6 force damage or something like that.
Sounds good. All right. It begins to surge as the bolt makes contact in between the plate armor on Nemesio, and he tenses up. How much extra damage?
That's an additional 9
Alrighty,
damage.
good to know. That'll be the end of your turn, Donnie. Misha, back up to you. Nemesio stands directly in front of you, sort of almost pronated before you.
I collect myself and stand up.
All right.
I look down at him and I say, It is time for you to go. Report. Leave all of us here. Leave the weapon and report to your boss. And next time it will be very interesting conversation between you and I. And I cast suggestion one more time.
Suggestion once again. That is a 16.
That fails.
That fails. What are you suggesting?
Leave the girl, leave the blade, and go tell this story to your boss. That's what I'm suggesting.
Alrighty.
If you think that's too much, then I will refine it. I'll leave it to you.
I think maybe just suggesting that he leaves would work.
Okay. Yeah. The suggestion that I'm making is that it's time for him to go and report this interesting story to his boss.
Sure.
I'd
He
like
just
for him
sort
to
of-
leave the blade if I can make that happen.
You gotta pick one.
Okay. Well, if I just say leave the blade, but don't go anywhere, then he's just gonna put the blade down and then.
The blade is already on the ground.
Oh, the blade's already on the ground. Then
because he
I-
surrendered, but
you're
yeah.
right. Yeah, then I just say it's time for you to go now and
Yeah.
report to your boss.
He just sort of looks up at you. And he turns and he begins to walk away. You have an opportunity attack. You are raging.
I am raging.
You have an opportunity attack.
I do.
Wait.
No, you don't. You're too far away.
I'm too far away.
May, you have an opportunity attack. You see this man just sort of bow, turn around, and begin to walk away.
I'm sorry.
It's fair.
Makes sense.
You don't get away that easily, and then I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm just gonna whap him with this fucking club.
Go for it.
And I still got advantage, right? Because the fairy fire.
How long does that last? Donnie?
A minute, so I mean.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Advantage, yeah.
Oh
Dope.
yeah.
All right. Also, I did +9 instead of +10 last time. So how about a 24?
24 hits.
You are, as it hits, as it would hit.
Yes.
I see this happening, and I use my chronomancy abilities to bend time around Nemesio and make him walk just a little bit faster than he was previously, which ducks him just out of the reach of May.
Is this a reaction?
It's a reaction. I can't make it automatically miss, but I can make it re-roll.
Go ahead and reroll.
So potentially.
Do
just
I
out of the
do I
range of
re-roll with
May.
advantage again?
I don't know.
I'm
Yeah.
going to rule no, you don't.
Okay.
It would be a single roll.
That's fine. How about a 21?
21 still hits. As you begin to, you notice this happening, and May begins to move towards it with another attack. You quickly grab the space around you and twist, and Nemesio jolts forward, but it is not quick enough as the two-handed weapon arcing with the single hand of this Dragonborn comes crashing down on Nemesio.
Doing 12 blunt damage and 1 cold damage.
The club cracks against him, and he turns around. Very close. Very close. I believe that is the end of your turn. You have a bonus action and
I
movement.
have a bonus action and movement at this point.
He hasn't really gotten out of your area, to be honest, because it would have, like, that's what triggered the thing, and he stopped.
Yeah,
So,
so he's
he's
still
still
within
within
melee range of
melee
me.
range of you. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I will. I bonus action movement. I'm just gonna stand there.
Okay. That is the end of your turn. Nemesio's turn. Firstly, you all did this. He reaches into his pocket, a little pouch at the side, pulls out a small potion. He uncorks it and he starts slamming it. his body vibrates for a moment. And he reaches his hand out, and his sword reappears in his grip. Not just reappears, but moves, seemingly by his will, into his hand. Forgive your friends. They are not as smart as you. And he moves in to attack you 6 times.
What?
First attack,
Great job, guys.
I'm sorry. Why?
Why what?
Why would he get
19 to hit.
Because he's a fucking dope guy. Nope, and I use my reaction, so I can't use shield, so I'm gonna die. It hits.
Hits you. You suffer. Hello? You suffer. Jesus Christ. Okay. Actually, that's not that bad. 18 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Second attack.
No, because
Natural 20?
They all kind of separate attacks. I mean,
But if he
Natural
drops
20?
me,
That's
then-
that's
Right.
true.
Yep.
You suffer 20 points of slashing damage.
Yep.
Third attack. Natural 20 again, I swear.
Yep.
I swear to God, natural 20 again. If you want to check that, you can.
I believe you.
Okay.
It's nice knowing you all. Campaign
26 points of slashing damage. What are you at?
16.
16? Fourth attack. That is a 26.
Yep.
Kind of low. 8 points of slashing damage. Fifth attack. That's a natural 19, which he also crits on.
Okay. Jesus.
I'll take that roll, that's fine.
He's a warlock.
Well, this is the sixth one. It'll just knock you down.
But I got lucky.
Because
Another 26 points of slashing damage.
Yep. I drop.
You drop to the ground. That is punishment enough. And he turns around and he looks at you, May, and he uses his final attack against you.
Do something.
21 to hit. Sorry,
Oh.
22 to hit.
That'll hit.
You suffer. Rolled way better that time. 17 points of slashing damage.
How about like 9?
Half because of raging.
Yep.
Very nice.
As he does that, I'm just gonna laugh.
He is going to use his full movement to get right up next to you, Taj. He's going to reach down and grab Ophelia and use the rest of his movement to move away from you.
I don't get a reaction. I don't.
You
get
have a reaction, yes.
I would like to stop him.
What would you like to try to do to stop him?
Push him.
You want to push him?
I'm gonna push him.
I
I assume you're not going to let me
I'll
wand of
push him.
polymorph him on a reaction, right?
You cannot use the wand as a reaction. You have an opportunity attack. You can choose to try to grapple him.
Can I?
Go for it. Make an athletics check.
Well, that's not gonna go better than pushing.
Would you get advantage on this or no?
Technically it's an attack, I guess.
It's
I-
not technically.
It's
Yeah,
not technically
because-
attack, it's an action. So
Yeah.
no.
It replaces an attack.
It replaces an attack. So no, you do not get advantage on this.
I'll give you. I will give you. Flash of Genius.
Thank you.
Plus 5.
+5?
19.
26. I'm sorry, 28.
Okay.
My apologies. You attempt to stop him, and with blinding speed, faster than you've ever seen anyone move, really, faster than Sirius, he just grabs Ophelia and he begins to dash away from you all. He moves about, let's see, he moved up to you about 10, 15 feet. So that is,
He's not slowed down by the weight of Ophelia?
so he moves up 15 feet. So
Because I was slowed by the weight of Ophelia.
I know you were.
You're a tiny person.
And he moves about 45 feet away from you all. That is the end of his turn. May, you are up. He is, at this point,
45 feet away from me.
well, no, he moves 45 feet away from where he was at Ophelia, which was an additional about 15 feet. So he's about 60 feet away from you.
Okay.
Taj, you're on deck.
Okay. How far away is Misha from me?
Misha, 10 feet.
And he's Nemesio's far.
Messio is 45 feet away from you, 60 feet away from them.
Awesome.
I am going to use my action to dash.
Okay.
And I'm going to get right in front of him.
How
So-
much is your movement?
I have 40 feet walking speed.
Oh, cool. So 80 feet. Nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to get right in front of him, essentially, so that I have a opportunity attack on his next turn.
Good to know.
If I can also use my bonus action for my 2-weapon fighting, can I actually hit him?
I believe you have to use your action to attack in order to make the bonus action 2-weapon
Yeah,
fighting.
yeah, you're right. It's the first thing it says.
Awesome.
All
I
right,
can read.
that's fine. Yeah, so I just want to have an opportunity attack near him, basically.
Okay, good to know.
If
At the end of your
for
turn,
flavor, I'm right in front of him.
Sure.
No.
At the end of your turn, he's going to use a legendary action to reach his hand towards you. Yes.
Your camera's out.
Oh.
No way.
Really?
Oh, it happened
Oh, it did.
anyway.
Oh. Hit menu twice. Sorry, y'all.
Red eye
Thank you,
flashes
Alex.
twice.
And thank you, Matt. I thought we resolved that. I'm so sorry.
So sorry. We'll get on it.
It's not like I have anything else to do at this point.
Very true. Very true. All
I'm
right.
simply trying
You just
to
moved,
not shit myself.
and now you're gonna hit the thing. Menu off.
Now we are watching to see if it works.
Oh, did you hit it twice?
I did.
And just give it a.
Try it one more time.
Okay.
Sorry,
It's okay.
You sure?
because the menu is still on.
How's that?
Hold on, you're standing up now. There's a delay.
Oh, big delay.
My apologies, y'all. We're fixing this right up. Yep, there I am. Cool.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
found it.
All right. Thank you, Alex.
It's a difficult skill check.
Nemesio is going to raise his hand against you, and I need you, May, to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ah, it's not my best.
Barbarians are good at those.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Wisdom. Oh, okay. 15. It's not
You
nothing.
fail.
All right.
He raises his hand against you, and without even touching you, you feel a grip around your throat as you float into the air and your legs dangle and your hands reach up, still holding your weapons, but you are grappled and restrained.
Okay. Am I not taking any damage right now?
You have not taken any damage.
Okay.
That is the end of his legendary action. Taj, you are up.
Okay, looking from Ophelia to Misha, who I assume is on the ground, I'm going to quickly make a decision and run to Misha, and I have a potion of greater healing. Can
Yes.
I give it to him?
Certainly, it's cost an action.
That's fine. It'll do this stuff. 2, 6, 9, and 10 plus 8. 18.
18.
18.
I heal for 18.
You do.
There you go.
This is good. Thank you.
You are back up as you feel the warm tonic pass through your throat, and you breathe up and open your eyes.
Hey, not yet, okay? Stay here.
I swear I had them.
Yeah, you're doing great. I need you to do it again.
Alrighty. That is your action. You have a bonus action.
Can I help Misha?
Certainly, yes.
Okay.
As you are helping Misha up, Misha, you gain the benefits of the help action for your next attack or ability check or anything like that. It is the end of your turn. Taj, Lux, you are up. Donnie, you are on deck.
And, I'm a cleric.
Just.
It's okay. It's
You
your
can
turn.
do other things.
It is your turn.
Else.
I want to do my job.
You can, he's only at 18!
Well,
He's
I'm
fragile.
going to fucking, I'm gonna use
Fucking by the light.
Channel Divinity?
and evenly split my full 40 health points
So you both regain 20 points of health. Taj and Misha.
20 points?
Yep.
Amazing.
Okay.
Luxian extends his hands, mutters an incantation under his breath, and that same sort of silver divine essence flows through his hands, and it drapes itself upon you, and you feel your life restored to you.
Thank you.
That is your action, Lux. You have a bonus.
Honestly, like Lux kind of like turns around and sees Nemesio making his escape, and at this point, Lux is just utterly defeated.
Mm-hmm.
And he honestly just kind of like slumps down to the ground and just sits there.
Sure. Donnie, it is your turn.
Okay. So I'm going to actually drop the fairy fire,
All right.
and instead I'm going to cast Levitate on the Messier.
Oh.
Okay, interesting.
Con check 17.
Con save?
Yeah, con save, sorry.
It's alright.
You would have control of him.
All right.
Surprised you get back support.
So I'm sorry, you're casting what?
Levitate on the Messier.
Levitate. That is a natural 2.
Okay. So Messier floats up 20 feet. Suspended.
Can you read the spell to me?
Sure. One creature or loose object of your choice that you can see within range rises vertically up to 20 feet and remains suspended there for the duration. Duration is concentration of 10 to 10 minutes. The spell can levitate a target with 500 pounds. An unwilling creature that succeeds on a Constitution saving throw is unaffected. The target can move only by pushing or pulling against a fixed object or surface within reach, such as a wall or ceiling. This allows it to move as if it were flying. You can change the target's altitude by up to 20 feet in either direction on your turn. If you are the target, you can move up or down. Oh fuck! I missed that part of it.
He'll still be moving slower.
He still has to
Yeah.
use his movement.
Yeah.
If you are the target, you can move up or down as part of your move.
Yeah, but
Otherwise, you can use your action to move the target, which must remain moved.
So he doesn't move any slower at all.
no, but he's got to use his movement on getting down to the ground.
Why wouldn't he be able to move forward? I don't understand.
I thought it said he can only move 20 feet on his turn.
You can only move up or down. You cannot move forward with.
You can't go forward unless he has something to grab.
Got it. Good to know. Got it. But he can move up.
No,
Or down.
No,
wait,
he
wait,
can-
hang on.
Hold on,
hang
hold
on,
on.
hang on. The target can move only by pushing or pulling against a fixed object. If you are the hang on. If you are the target, yes. He cannot move up or down on his
He
own
cannot
accord.
move up. He can't move, period, unless he pushes off something.
Exactly.
Good to know.
Ha!
That's my action.
This is a great fucking spell.
Yeah.
I will move 25 feet closer to him.
Okay.
I guess I assume he was able to carry Ophelia up with him.
Oh, he's holding on to Ophelia, yes.
Okay, just checking.
So you can't move at all.
But yeah, he can't move.
Yeah, neither can you.
Why can't he move?
I can move.
Oh no.
He can move.
You're the one who is grappling.
Yeah, I'm up in the air
Got
by
it.
the
Yes,
throat.
yes. Understood.
I will move 25 feet closer to him.
Okay.
I think that
What was the range on levitate?
it is
60 feet.
It's like 60.
All right. In range. Nice.
Yep, 60 feet.
All right. Beautiful. Well, fuck.
Took that spell
Actually, a
too.
very good offensive spell.
Levitate's
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
good.
it is.
Very, very good.
It offended me.
I hated this. All right, Donnie. If that's going to be the end of your turn, that's going to bring us to you, Misha.
We're a nation of laws of gravity.
Actually, at the end of your turn, Donnie, Nemesio is going to use a legendary action.
to do what?
How many of these?
You don't know. If you haven't been keeping count, you don't know.
I just mean how many does he get?
Oh, legendary actions, you get a bunch.
Really?
He extends his hand towards you, Donnie,
I don't think
and he
there's a
grabs the air and he twists his fist.
It's like-
And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Does this get rid of my spell?
Nope.
This man loves to force choke.
These aren't spells,
Who wouldn't?
Oh,
so there's no like concentration to make or anything like
okay.
that. Sorry?
Is this a save against magic?
Sure.
Well, if it is, then I can get help.
What the fuck is this?
Sure.
Nice.
I mean, technically it's magic, I guess.
I got a 21.
You succeed. As he coils his hand, you feel a burning sensation on your chest that dissipates and is ineffective. Misha, it is your turn.
And you have advantage on whatever you do.
Yes, I have advantage. I'm gonna stand up.
That is half your movement.
Yep.
I helped him to his feet.
You are to your feet already?
Yes.
That's not half your movement.
I got advantage on standing up.
Yes.
Taj is next to me. Lux is how far from me?
Lux is about 10-ish feet from you.
That's not.
I'm assuming that having been dropped, the telepathic bond is gone. I don't know if that's true or not.
I would assume.
Oh, if you fell unconscious?
It just says until the spell ends the targets. I'm going to say that it's probably, maybe it's still up for them, but not for me.
What's the duration of it?
The duration is 1 hour. It's pretty close to an hour.
Oh, 1 hour, I would say at this
Yeah,
point it's
okay.
it's probably over.
All right. I'm going to, I turn to Taj and I just say, you know we can't win, right?
So what do we do?
He's not going to stop until he gets his information and he can't get it. I don't know. We have to fight another day.
So we run away?
I just stand there and take the dodge action.
Okay. Misha readies himself in case of an attack. It is Nemesio's turn. He's going to look at you, Donnie. He holds his sword up and he throws it at you. Natural 20.
Wow.
How close?
Can you lean over and see this? It's in the
trust
light.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, natural
How
20.
close to me is Donnie at this point?
Donnie, you moved up towards Nemesio, correct?
Yeah, I moved 25. I think I was, when we were, what, 45 feet? I moved 25 feet closer.
So he is 35 feet away from you.
35 feet away from me. Okay.
Okay. You suffer, Donnie. $32 points of slashing damage. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Sorry, you said it was 32?
32 points of slashing damage, or piercing, excuse me, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Is this versus, oh, it's a
Concentration check, I assume.
Yep. You succeed. You hold on to the concentration of your spell. The blade, excuse me, that stabbed through you begins to fall to the ground as it stops and back to Nemesio, and he's going to attack you 5 more times.
I can't believe he doesn't have like disadvantage for being in the air like this.
Why would he?
I don't know. It just seems like it'd be harder to throw.
No, he's locked in the air.
Fair enough.
He can't move anywhere unless he pushes off something.
Yeah.
He's also just a badass motherfucker.
He also took an unknown potion that you don't know what happened. Second attack is going to be a 16 to hit. Third attack, as the blade comes back to him, is a 19 to hit. Fourth attack. That is a 21 to hit.
That will hit.
I need you to make another Constitution saving throw. You suffer 13 points of slashing damage. How much? 13. You succeed again. I believe that was the 4th attack. So this is the 5th attack. Natural 20. Take a look.
Get new dice, dude.
Yeah, this is my best dice.
Apparently
You see it,
they're
though,
your
right?
fucking rigged dice.
You see it though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna take a picture.
You don't have to.
I know, I'm doing it anyways.
You've rolled
It's like the 6th
you've rolled
grade.
like
We've been
13
playing
natural
together a year.
20s.
I trust you.
Did you put a die in the oven for a little bit?
I did. I actually roasted it in that grease fire earlier.
That's how you get the weight on one side.
38 points of piercing damage on that attack. I need you to make another Constitution saving throw.
I mean, I'm down at that point, so.
Oh, the levitate spell drops and Nemesio falls to the ground.
How much damage does he take from that fall?
How high in the air was he?
20 feet.
Did it, I think damage too, actually.
He suffers. Oops, that was a 5. He suffers 6 points of bludgeoning damage as he lands on the ground.
He drops dead.
He dies.
So I need it.
Yay.
He is going.
Can I go to negative or what do we have?
You're just at 0.
You're at 0.
Zero, okay.
He's going to use his last, his final attack. Just sort of look around. You did this again. And he's going to throw his sword at you, Donnie, with advantage.
He already threw his sword.
You
He's
keep doing
been retrieving it.
Fucking.
This might miss. 17?
Do I still have my full AC when I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just made mine at an advantage, and I rolled low. So it misses. The blade strikes into the ground just near him. And you can see for just a moment, Nemesio's like, oh, Von May is at your side. And it returns to him, and he's going to use his full movement to rush out away from you an additional 60 feet. That is the end of his turn. May.
How far is he from me now?
He
60 feet from
is-
me, or?
Actually, I believe that restrained does not mean that you don't get an opportunity to attack. So I believe that you can make an opportunity attack as he passes by you. A restrained creature's speed becomes 0, cannot benefit from any bonus to its speed. Attack rolls have disadvantage. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage. The creature's attack rolls have disadvantage. So you make this a disadvantage.
Here's my question to you.
Yes.
And I think I know the answer. Could I try to restrain him, or like grapple him right now?
Yeah, I'll say that you can attempt to grapple him. You have to make your athletics check at disadvantage.
But I am raging, and that's a strength check, so that would actually be a regular.
So neutral then, yes.
Cool. And that you said that's athletics?
Athletics for you, yes.
Perfect. Oh, that's. Mwah.
Chef's key.
There we go. Let's see. That's not very good. 13. I'm pretty sure there's something added to that. Let me make sure.
I know.
No, that's just a 13. That sucks.
22.
Yeah.
You attempt to reach out in your choked state.
With my legs.
With your leg, and you just... He evades you, unfortunately.
Keep running, coward.
Nemesio, his turn ends.
I would assume so.
It is your
He's done
turn.
a lot.
You are grappled and restrained still, floating in the air.
Is there, I mean, can I fight this at all, or am I just stuck here?
Seemingly, you are stuck there right now.
Okay. Fuck it.
Isn't there a check to like escape the ground?
Usually there
The
is.
thing is, this is
Not
it's
with
not
this.
really a grapple.
He's floating in there in midair.
She is.
Excuse me. She's floating in there in midair.
All right. So, how far is he from me?
60 feet from you.
Fuck it. Let's try. I can't get more disadvantage. Can I try to throw my javelin at him?
Disadvantage, yes.
I can't get double disadvantage. I don't give a fuck.
Breaking the
Let's
game.
Breaking the game.
go. A 2 plus
Amazing.
9, so that's 11.
11 is going to miss, unfortunately.
Wait, but I also
Uh,
don't I have something for?
do you?
I keep forgetting what the actual rules are for rage. That's what's killing me.
I'm
right
telling you right now, there's no way that you're going to get enough of a bonus to get to his AC
now. Yeah.
from
It's
11.
at least
Yeah, you're
20,
right.
or at least 17.
You loose
I
the
just wanna make
javelin and it careens off into the night. Taj,
I should use my.
It is your
breath
turn.
weapon, but I don't want to.
Nemesio seems to be like, at this point, you're uncertain how far away, but greater than 60 from you.
Does it look greater than 90?
What would you like to do?
One last thing.
Go for it.
I want to move toward him as much as possible.
You use your full movement. Go for it, yes.
Wand of polymorph one more time.
Okay.
Orca whale.
All right, Orca Whale. This is a wisdom saving throw?
Yes.
That is a 16.
Tosh, everybody stop. Stop. Just. We're not gonna win. Go, Lux, get Donnie. Just get him. Just let him go.
May is just struggling and just like trying to get out, not listening at all. She's raging, but she can't move, so it's not a big deal right now.
We will catch up to him. We will catch him later. We can't do this now. Lux, go fix Donnie.
It's your turn, Lux.
Lux kind of like in his sleep state, just kind of haphazardly gets up and
Hey, Matt.
moves over to Donnie.
Just real quick.
Spread it out.
Alrighty. Lux lays his hands over Donnie, and you see Donnie's very rapid breathing calm for a moment. Donnie, you do not have to make death saving throws for the time being.
Bonus action, healing word.
Go for it.
7 points total.
So the Spare of the Dying was just a flex.
Just in case.
Yeah, but
Just in
I'm
case.
sorry for sure.
You never know. Donnie, your eyes open, you breathe deeply. You are alive.
You said that healed how much?
7. It is your turn. Nemesio is a ways away from you.
Okay. Fuck.
Donnie, we can't. I'm sorry, but we can't. We're too weak. We can't do anything.
I can tell him something. I think that there's still a chance of making a deal here.
What can you tell him?
I don't know. What should I tell him?
To leave Ophelia behind and run away. Just go somewhere.
I can't. It doesn't work.
That doesn't-
I mean, I can tell him. I can communicate with him. I can't control him.
Oh.
But there's something I want him to hear before we lose him.
I
I
don't
don't know.
You guys are bordering on using this entire turn for this conversation. So,
I mean, yes. At this point, I don't. I'm not. Yeah.
all right. Misha, it is your turn.
He's done. Let's go. I turn and walk towards the house.
From what you can just barely see, the forms of those two figures gradually begin to disappear into the night. And the surrounding silence around you settles. You look around you. May, you are loosed back on. All is still.
as much of the, well, I guess as much of the vineyard as I can reasonably do.
As you toss the burning bottles into the air and they crack through the windows and onto the roof, over into the vines around and the vineyard that makes up the great many acreages of the Wormar estate, the fire begins to grow and engulf this crimson mansion. And soon, within minutes, a wild fire blazes, hot like the sun, almost eliminating the night all around you. You can feel the heat emanating from behind you.
May, she watches the fire for a little bit. She goes, I like the way you think. And she uses her breath weapon on the actual vines, like the grapevines, to start those on fire.
As May alights through her breath, the rest of these vines, they crackle and burn, and an inferno begins to grow into a cascading, rolling ball of fire that engulfs and consumes the rest of all of the vineyard in minutes. It begins to streak across like a fuse that cannot be quenched. You hear in the far distance the sound dong, dong, dong of bells billowing, loud, cacophonous from the city.
I just want to go pick up Roscoe's body.
You move over to Roscoe's body, and you look around and you can see now the heat from the fire and the time here, perhaps from that desperate aura from the Messio, all of these things, the arcana in the air. The pooled blood has dried and stained the cobblestone in the courtyard. And through the cracks around him, in between the cobblestones, little vines have sprouted. And against all odds, small flowers bloom all around him as he lays not on stone, no longer bleeding, but in a small little field of his own flowers around him. The blazing inferno behind you all, crackling, alighting, as if the dawn drapes itself against his face, his eyes closed, serene, sleeping. And you feel warmth from the fire, but the hairs on the back of your neck stand for a moment. And you feel like someone's behind you, and you turn around and there's no one there. And the rest of your companions sort of stand watching this inferno. And you can hear the bells toll behind you.
Taj, you picked him up, right?
I was going to, but he's laying in the bed of flowers.
May's gonna walk over to the body and just give him like a gentle kiss on the forehead.
You know Roscoe?
We can talk about it later. We should probably get out of here. Do you guys have somewhere to go?
No.
We need to talk to Cord. We need.
We need to get away from here.
The forest is just beyond.
Luxine is going to walk around to the front entrance and get the carriage like around to everybody to get in.
All right. Luxian brings the carriage around. The horse is startled at this fire.
Come with us.
I assume you guys are going after him. There wasn't much choice. We can do introductions later.
Of course.
And she just hops in the carriage, no questions asked.
Of course.
You all begin to gather in the carriage, yes?
Yep.
And you head towards the Whisperwood.
Yes.
Is that the direction you went in? Roughly.
Yes, roughly. You went towards the wood, towards the trade route first, and then you lost sight.
Whisperwood
But
is deeper into sight, though, right?
yes.
That's where we're going.
All right. You make your way towards there, the bells tolling behind you, drifting away, the crackling of the fire. As you turn around, you see this great, outstretched inferno tear through the Wormwood vineyards. All that land, all those grapes, the vines, the grass, the earth, ripped, peeled, burned. And it drifts into the horizon as you cut through the edge of the Whisperwood. The bits of moonlight that flicker around you drown out that bright orange-yellow light from the inferno. As you begin to finally breach the interior of the outskirts, silver-flecked wood around you, you see those bits of moonlight pierce through the canopy overhead and cascade onto the floor of this expansive forest. There is a rapturous silence that permeates the wood around you. It isn't eerie, but it offers you no calm. Almost in time, the leaves that wreath the branches overhead begin to sway and dance in a gentle midnight breeze. The wind whispers and the leaves listen. They dance around you. The Whisperwood is before you. You continue to move forward. And the silence around you doesn't seem to give way. Even the rustling of the leaves is muted. And you lose that feeling of warmth around you as the cool midnight air chills you all. You travel for hours into the night, through the Whisperwood. Eventually, you begin to hear a lute, the sound of plucking strings. It's a familiar tune. You can't place it at first, but as you continue to move forward, it gets louder, closer. You heard this tune before. It sounds like a song. that a friend has been working on for some time. Eventually, the caravan emerges forth into a very small clearing. There is a smooth stone sitting in the middle of this serene enclosure. You see a figure sort of draped about this stone, plucking away at this song, looking up where you see now there is the absence of a canopy. You can see into the night sky, glittering silver and platinum stars about you, planets, bodies that shoot across the sky. It is a light. This figure plucks away. Beautiful, chestnut brown, long hair that wafts around this person, wreathing them, moving in time with the leaves all around you. Wearing simple, draped silk across their body, lithe and smooth. They look at you. Ears pointed high above their head. Sharp jaw. Calm but wicked visage. The music stops. Ah. I was wondering when you would come around. It is good to see you all. Master Luxian? Cousin? What brings you all to the Whispering Wood?
Is this the...
Say that again?
Is this Laville?
No,
This is not Laville. You don't recognize this person.
we haven't met her yet. Them. But I know them. And so does Lexian.
They seem to know you. You don't recognize them.
Cousin.
Do you not recognize me?
Should I?
It's been a while. You were rather young. Although, I can never keep track of days anymore. Been around for some time.
Can I do an investigation? Is this like Tira Woe?
You don't recognize this person.
I'm like,
You can certainly ask who they are if you'd like.
No, we would never do a thing
Of
like
course
that.
not.
Hang on this.
Why would we do that?
I'd like to investigate the gazebo.
Because I feel like Luxian would be hesitant and very skeptical of this person, but yeah, Luxian just looks and says, "How do you know me?"
I know the names of all my people. Your names are carried to me on the wind, through the leaves. Every new life that is brought forth here in these woods, I know. You are Luxian Eloquin, a good young man. You served in the Centuries War. You healed many, and you are troubled, and you've returned home.
Is this person, are they male or female?
It's hard to tell.
Luxian kind of like stands up and gets down from the front of the cart and like wide-eyed just like takes a few hesitant steps towards this person and who are you?
I am lord of this wood. I am your father's master. I am your companion's uncle. I am Woad.
And Luxian immediately like does a very, very deep bow and holds it there and begins to cry.
And this person called Woad, without making a sound, moves towards you, grabs your face gently and lifts you up from that pronated position and meets you eye to eye. None may bow to me. This is your wood, as much as it is mine. We were all brought here by the gods above. No man, woman, person, no one need bow to another. I am but the listener. I have my gifts and you have yours. Let us greet each other as equals. And he leans in and he embraces you. And he pulls away and he wipes the tears around your face. He looks about you all. My apologies. I didn't realize. You caught me in the midst of a new tune that came to me. But well, besides all that, it is good to see you, cousin, as well. Like I said, it's been some time. You were rather young. You are rather young. We were all rather young.
I remember you.
Good. Don't forget. My sibling is temperamental, as am I. Do you all know why you are here? Is this where you are to say goodbye?
What do you mean?
Do you not see?
What should I see?
Him. And he looks over, just sort of between you all, in an empty space. He yearns to greet you one last time. It's all right. If you cannot see, we can show you. And he outstretches his hands, and the wind blows through the whispering wood, and the leaves rattle, and some of them break off, and they float, and they spin in a soft, cool whirlwind, and they coalesce in that empty space between you all. And you start to see, floating there in the air, the leaves drape themselves over a shimmering figure of a flickering, tethered spirit in between you all. It seems as though this child, their spirit has been severed. Terrible thing, dark magics. Whatever you encountered, I am sorry. Deeply and truly I am. This is not how anyone should have to go. But this child's spirit is strong. And the wind hears them as well. Look. Here. Speak. And you see the leaves fleck away. And in that space in between, as they float through the wood, remains the shimmering, spectral form of Roscoe Thorngage.
And you do hear that lute music actually picking up again. And he starts to sing. How can you stand tall? You left us alone. And I don't need your respect, 'cause I found my own. You left us nothing, memories and a broken home. Take a look at me now, that I'm all grown without you, without you. Do you want to know me now? 'Cause you can't know me now. You'll leave it there somehow. But I'm happy here right now. And you notice that as he finishes the song, his form weakens a little bit.
Roscoe.
It flickers, and the wind begins to pick up again. As Woad speaks, the Whispering Wood is powerful. It mourns for him. But even it, while his soul remains severed, he cannot be whole. There can be peace in time if you are willing to seek it. There is much to be learned here. I know that to be true. This child, dear to you all, yes?
Yes, but he's not a child. He's a grown man.
Cousin, I've lived aeons. My birth, an eternity ago. You are all children to me. What was his name?
Roscoe Thorngage.
Rest here, Roscoe Thorngage. And as he speaks, the stone that he sat upon cracks and splits open and falls to the side and crumbles and sinks into the earth. And where the rocks fell and were swallowed by the earth around him, little flowers bloom once again until they fill all of the clearing. If you wish it, he may rest here. None will unearth him. Not so long as the woods continue to mourn. They are sentimental. And most of all, they liked his song. As did I. He picks up his lute and begins to strum that same tune that Roscoe sang. You can see that there is a clearing in the flowers where the center of that rock once was. It is fresh, living soil. He passes his hand over it, and it moves till there is space in the ground. And he looks at you all, and he sits down on the ground in the flowers, and he begins to strum as he looks at the neck of his lute and plays and lets you be.
Luxian will go up to Roscoe's body in the cart and carry him over to the grave. Sal, your candle lost.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. I was wondering that would happen. It's all good.
I'm sure it's been out for an hour.
I've been watching it, sorry. As Luxian begins to move his body forward, what did the rest of you do?
May follows behind him in sort of a walked procession.
Matt, one more time, sorry. Can you hit the menu one more time?
One more time.
I apologize. I know.
Well, you gotta hit it 3
Very
times.
thoroughly.
I know.
Maybe there's a timeout before I can
Perhaps.
press it twice too fast.
Are you moving towards it now? Thank you.
I would just like to turn to Tira Woad and just say, thank you.
He doesn't really look up. He just continues to play, but you can see that there is a small smile on his face.
I say to Tirwoad, I say, I want to go kind of close to them just to, I want to make it kind of a somewhat personal question in terms of, not necessarily like whispering, but, and I just say, did you say that even here his soul cannot completely rest in its current state?
He looks up at you. Not while it is split. Half of it seems to be locked away.
That is what I thought. Thank you. And
He bows his head and continues to play.
yeah. Misha walks back to for now, Misha will just take a few steps kind of back.
As Luxian lays Roscoe in the bed of flowers in the grave, he just takes a step back and gets on, like, sits down on his knees and begins to take his shirt off. As he takes his shirt off, it reveals a field of scarred notches on his back and chest. And he takes out his dagger and carves one more notch on his chest.
Does Roscoe have any jewelry or anything that's on
Anything I can.
Now an appropriate time.
Can
to
I
loot
loot the body?
Does Roscoe have any tiny objects on him that he's wearing as his thing?
Does he?
His mother's pendant.
Yes, he does have his mother's pendant. He also has. I mean, if you want to get down to it, that's.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Is the pendant magical?
I don't believe so.
Pendant is
No,
not magical.
we checked it out.
Usually it's not magical. I'm going to have the pendant and use magical tinkering. So I can't use oracle with this, but I will have basically have the tune of Roscoe's song being played. It might be less muffled when it's more muffled when it's buried, but I'm always like looking like the fact it's there. It can occur within 10 feet of the object.
Sure.
And that's just charming.
As you do that, Woad, who is also playing the tune, begins to switch from the melody to a harmony, and it amplifies the sound around. And Luxian, with the help of the rest of you, begins to lower the body into the earth. And the song plays. And Tira Woad stands. He sets his lute down. The song continues, thanks to Donnie, and he walks over the grave, and he passes his hand, and he mutters something. Does anyone speak Celestial?
Pretty sure I don't.
I do.
You do too.
Nope.
Good to know.
The two of you hear, rest, sing, you will be whole again. And the earth begins to cover him. And where that fresh soil was, that living earth, once again, flowers bloom around, and little blades of grass bend over and mourn over his grave.
As that happens, I look upon the grave and I turn and I start to walk back towards the cart, and I begin sort of feverishly muttering to myself. Yeah.
Can we understand what you're saying?
I'm doing an incantation.
What would you like to cast?
It's only verbal, and I'm I'm starting to contact other plane spell.
As you mutter, images flash into your mind. What would you like to ask?
This does take 10 minutes, so I assume I would be fully in the cart
Sure.
by now. Without really knowing how this works, I ask first. Is anyone there?
I want to make sure I get this right.
Actually, there is a saving throw involved. I need to check if I make that 4 at the
Yeah,
end.
I think you might go insane from this, actually.
Oh, I know.
You need to make the intelligence saving throw first,
Okay.
when you cast the spell,
All right.
yes.
So I will make the saving throw first. I do save.
All right. You hear as you utter the question, is anyone there? You hear a voice fill your mind. Yes.
I say, and who is it I'm speaking to?
Everything.
Can Woad help me with my chronomancy?
Yes.
Who is Nemesio's master?
C-Day.
If we had Nemesio's weapon, would we be able to set Roscoe's soul free?
Yes. And on that fifth and final question, that voice leaves you.
Still shaking a bit, I leave the cart and I return to the group. And I walk up to May and I say, I know you mean well, but you are so stupid. And then I walk back to the cart.
Tell her, Misha.
You know, normally I would try to fight someone over that, but I think given the circumstances, I'll let it slide. And she's actually going to go over to Roscoe's grave and kind of give it like a little pat. I've got some stories for you when we get you, man. And she moves back over towards the cart and kind of does this, waiting for everyone else to be ready to go.
I'm gonna talk to Woad for a second. Do you know why else we're here?
I have my suspicions.
Can you help us?
In my own ways, yes. I am... I cannot give you what you seek, but I can guide you. It is up to you to succeed or to fail. This is your path. It is only a part of mine.
We need so much more help than we thought we did.
Yes. Perhaps you have found it.
It's one of those things where like I walk back to the cart and I just have like so much frantic like energy that I'm basically just pacing back and forth. And so I sort of kind of get there and then realize that nothing is fixed by being there, and I walk back. And I say, I go back to Woad and I say, I know that there are ways to peer into the future, likely back. I dabble a bit myself. Do you happen to know anything about me?
You? Do you think knowing the answer to that question would help you or hinder you? There are many things you can learn here, Misha. People who have sought these powers long ago. There are remnants of them, carried in the whispers of the wind and through the leaves of my forest. They fall through the cracks of the great doors to the eternal halls. That is where you will find what you seek. You must listen. It is the only way.
I can listen.
I know you can.
I spend a little too much time talking, probably. I can listen.
They used to say the same thing about me. Cousin, weep if you must, but there is much work to be done. My sibling will move to the defense of Nock soon. There is a great war on the horizon. I fear far worse than the one that had preceded it. My people suffered much in the past century. Something else must be done. Something different this time. I have a feeling that you all have something to do with it. We shall see. But first we must hear. Listen to the wind. Come to my city first, and then set your sights on the eternal halls. Be weary, for if you take the wrong turn, or if you harm the woods around you, I cannot protect you from them. They are calm, but if provoked, you may find yourself lost. And if you are lost in the Whispering Wood, the Fae might overtake you. So take heed, listen well. I will leave you. Stay in this glade as long as you'd like, while the woods and the blades of grass mourn. They will protect you. You will not be seen. Go when you are ready. And come to my sprawling city, deep into the woods. I may not be there, but there are others that could guide your way. Fathers and mothers of those around you.
we the only ones in the Whispering Woods right now? I mean, here.
Yes. None will find you. I can only be found if I want to be. And here you are.
My lord, before you leave us, I have another question. Where can I find the one named Mask?
This is a path that you are set upon. It is dark and grueling, but it is your path. You can find them. Listen to the wind.
Uncle, does everyone go to the Eternal Halls when they eventually?
This is a place that has been hidden for quite some time. But you belong there for now. And so you have my permission to traverse those halls. Bring no one else with you. And take only what you are meant to.
This is stupid. You haven't seen anyone else pass through here. Tall, red fellow. Strange armor. Maybe purple.
I don't see many people through here. Not when I'm gallivanting. I have a knack for staying hidden. And I don't go looking for too much. People seem to find me when they need to. I have a hands-off sort of approach. I'm sure you'd see whoever you're looking for again.
Well, if you see them, let us know.
Perhaps I will. Now, go to my city. Stay here as long as you'd like. But I am off.
And Woad latches the lute on his back, breathes in, and as he exhales, a gust of wind blows the flowers around as they bend away. And when they right themselves, you see all of them bow, their petals towards Roscoe's grave. And as you look back up, Woad is gone. And we will end our session there tonight. It's a little bit early, it's 9:43 or so. But that's it for tonight. Matt, if you wouldn't mind heading over to the other side just for a moment, just to
Yes.
see us off. But next week, we will be here Wednesdays as usual from 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 10 p.m. A little earlier, maybe ending a little later. Who knows? We shall see. But we hope to have you tune in next time to episode 3 of our campaign Petrichor with a new companion as we have said goodbye to our beautiful boy, Roscoe Thorngage. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night, and we will see you soon.
so mad.